We're live. Go for it.
All right. What's good, everyone? Players, viewers. If you have any viewers, I'll feel really impressed if we do. Welcome to Thousand Arrows Street Samurai versus Code Ninja. This is a hack of an upcoming game, which itself is a hack of Apocalypse World by Vincent Meg Baker. Thousand Arrows is a tabletop role-playing game about the Japanese Warring States period of 1467 to 1600, 1603, 1615, depends how you define it. And today we are playing a setting variant of it called Street Samurai versus Code Ninja. Street Samurai versus Code Ninja is about the 1990s and the Japanophilic tropes of the 1990s, because in the early 90s, everyone thought that Japan was going to take over the world before the banks failed. So if you look at cyberpunk from the late 80s, early 90s, that era, everyone thought that Japan was going to conquer the world. And so even in Western cyberpunk, you see a lot of things where Japanese titles or vocabulary are laid over cyberpunk concepts that didn't necessarily have anything to do with Japan. So this particular game is about what if we took those Japanophilic tropes and then took them to their logical conclusion and made all the street samurai in cyberpunk actually act like samurai, and so on and so forth. What if every time that a job was posted for a code ninja, they were actually hiring a military intelligence agent who could also hack computers, right? So that's what this game is about. So we're going to use the existing rules of Thousand Arrows as is for this game, and then we might reskin some things or make some small alterations to suit the cyberpunk setting. But first, let's all introduce ourselves. So I'm going to start with Chris because it looks like your mouth's full.
I was sipping my tea. Hey, I'm Chris Bernal. I live in Brooklyn. I run a couple Pathfinder games, and I play in a D&D game, and I play in a lot of indie, like narrative-based games as well. So this is my first experience with Thousand Arrows and anything close to it. This is my first time playing for you. But I'm excited to see what happens. I'm not too familiar, but I'm hoping that I can improv it and pick it up pretty quickly.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Thousand Arrows requires no prior familiarity with military science, Japanese history, or the cyberpunk genre.
Awesome.
The game will hook you up.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, thank you. I'm excited to give you your first Thousand Arrows experience. I don't know if anybody else here has played, actually. But yeah, thank you. Who's next? Donna?
Yeah, hi. My name is Donna McCarthy. I'm in Dublin, Ireland. I play a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games, but I also have a huge interest in the history of the period of Japan that we're talking about, the Sengoku Jidai. And also in the 90s, I played a lot of cyberpunk and a lot of Shadowrun. So I think I am your target audience.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. So you understand intimately all the things that I'm frustrated with.
Yeah. He's the point right in the Venn diagram, right in the middle. This is
yes.
Donna.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
Thank you.
Really looking forward to this.
Excellent. I'm glad to have you. All right. And finally, Rich.
Hey, I'm Rich Rogers. I'm part of the Gauntlet. I do the Plus One Forward podcast, which is all about PBTA games. So playing a new PBTA game for me is super exciting. I just want to strongly lobby for anything that allows me to riff off of Deltron 3030 in this game. That would make me extremely excited. This Del the Funky Homo Sapiens concept album that tickles me to no end. When I first got into indie games, I tried to run Shadowrun with everything. And so I like it, and it makes me happy. Like I literally, Mortal Coil.
Shadowrun, Mortal Coil, Shadowrun.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Well, this is a good game. Can I run Shadowrun with it? I can. It's cool.
That's great. All right. I'm really happy to have this group together. So I'm Mendez, James Mendez Hodes, known to various people by various combinations of those three names. I live in Metuchen, New Jersey, which is in the greater New York metropolitan area. And I wrote Thousand Arrows based on an original concept by Brennan Taylor. And Brennan is I'm the writer on the project, and then Brennan's the editor. And Thousand Arrows should be hitting Kickstarter sometime in like the next couple of months, which seems really soon to me, but we'll get it together. Intimidating. So yeah, I have like some familiarity with the Warring States period, and with like the culture and religion and so forth of the time. But one of the things that I've been trying to do with this game is to try and make it as accessible as possible, not only to people who don't have a lot of familiarity with the specific subject matter here, but also the idea of playing in historical settings or playing in unfamiliar genres or cultures. And cyberpunk, because of globalization and so forth, makes that a little easier than it would be to jump into a game that's like based strictly on the films of Akira Kurosawa. But yeah, I hope that this game helps all of us engage with those kinds of unfamiliar settings in a more productive way, and avert some of that what we call history panic. So yeah.
Quick question. Sorry to jump in. I just want to ask real quick.
Sure.
One of the games, the Gauntlet games in this slot, has canceled. The GM was unable to meet. Could you take a fourth? It's okay if you're rather right.
Yeah, definitely. Good
Let
eye.
me invite them in then.
Okay.
I'll join in just a sec.
All right.
And it's Paul Edson, who is part of help desk and personal friend.
Sweet.
So I think he'll be fine. And if he's a problem, I'll kick him out.
All right.
I got that power,
Sounds
yo.
good.
I can literally kick him out of the hangout. It's awesome. But he's great. So he'll be joining us in just a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have a character who is definitely the Deltron analog. I realize now that you mentioned Deltron 3030, my favorite album of all time.
That's so great.
A new challenger has appeared. Hey, how's it going? You're Edson?
I'm Paul. Yeah,
Paul
Edson. Yep.
Paul Edson. Okay. Hi.
Howdy.
You're the first person I've met with Edson as a last name rather than a first name.
Yes.
I've never met an Edson as a first name. That's so cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's common in some parts of Mexico and Latin America.
Oh,
Yes.
neat.
Yes. Hi. I'm Mendez, and this is Rich, who you know, and Donna and Chris.
Hi.
We were just going around and doing introductions. Would you like to introduce yourself, Paul?
I'm Paul, and Edson is my last name. I've known Rich for a long time. I'm active kind of more behind the scenes in Gauntlet stuff. I edit podcasts and do things like that. And I've been playing games for longer than you've been alive, probably.
Quite probably.
So that's about it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Great. So I just sent over in the group chat over on the right panel of your screen. That is the link to the ash can of Thousand Arrows, featuring all kinds of good stuff for you. So the documents that we're going to need are going to be the player's guide. There's all the basic information about the game, including the basic moves and so forth. We're going to need the pre-generated characters, and we're going to need the note-taking document for online play, although I'm going to make a new copy of that that's specifically for this game. Let's rename that. All right. Cool. So just to quickly go over the concept behind the game to get Paul caught up. So this is Street Samurai versus Code Ninja. It is it's based on Thousand Arrows, the apocalypse world hack about the Japanese Warring States period, and this particular variant of it is about 1990s era Japanophilic cyberpunk taken to its logical conclusion. What if the street samurai actually acted like samurai? What if the Code Ninja were actual military intelligence agents, etc.? Cool. So I have some. So the drive folder should give you access to the player's guide and the pre-gens, and then that document that I just posted, that one is going to be our game notes, so we can write down things about our characters and so forth there. So, Thousand Arrows characters are a little bit involved to make. Oh, hold on, train going by. I live across from a train station, so this will annoy us from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look over the pre-generated characters in there, so these are some basic characters that I've made that I know kind of work as intended. Thousand Arrows character creation is a little bit more involved than a lot of Apocalypse World games in that there are 2 axes of playbooks. Have you guys all played Apocalypse World games before?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So it's the same basic structure as other Apocalypse World games you've played before. But yeah, there are 2 axes of character creation, 2 axes of playbooks. There's your allegiance, which is the team you play for. So that would be your samurai clan, your religion, the political organization that you work for, or you could also be a knight errant or ronin if you want to play on hard mode, but I never recommend that. But everyone who plays a ronin is, you got to be the type of person who wants to play a ronin even after I tell you not to play a ronin. So that's the thing.
Sure.
And then you also have your role, which is the job that you do for your team. So the pre-generated characters, I've put together some allegiances and roles that I think work well together. So if you look over the pre-generated characters, the ones I have here are the Kuki Clan courtier, who in this game is going to be the Kuki Clan social engineer. So the Kuki Clan was famed in Japanese history for its navy and especially for its marines. So the Kuki Clan samurai would climb on board your boat in like full heavy armor and beat the hell out of you. And they have all of these techniques which allow you to operate in heavy armor on the swaying deck of a ship. So in Street Samurai versus Code Ninja, the Kuki Clan instead has space marines.
Awesome.
Yeah. There's the Catholic retainer or salaryman in this setting. So the retainer is a samurai who works for a feudal liege and is largely defined by the relationship to the person that they work for. And they're also Catholic. So the Catholicism is this strange and mistrusted cult that's originally from the Middle East, but actually comes to us by way of Europe. And they have there's sort of like a god emperor thing that they work for, who lives in Rome. But then the people who are introducing Catholicism to Japan are actually usually from Portugal, which is another minor, little-known European nation. And they're showing up here and converting everybody to this religion. And this religion is very strange because they believe that if you're Catholic, you can't also be any other religions. It's exclusive, so that's very strange. Yeah, it's weird, but it's getting a lot of traction, and it's not illegal, but it is often mistrusted. And a Catholic, whenever they walk into a new state, they have to figure out whether the Lord is going to be like, "Oh, this is cool. You can come tell me about your weird ideas," or the Lord is going to be like, "Nope, I'm going to like nail you to something out in the harbor." Let's see. There's a Confucian knight. So the knight embodies the most martial aspects of the Japanese noble class, and they're a Confucian, so they believe in strong family values and a traditional kind of education that harkens back to ancient China. There's a foot soldier, or the knight in this game, of course, is the street samurai. The Yagyu clan foot soldier, or in this game, the Yagyu clan ganger. So you're part of one of these many street gangs who are hired to do all kinds of dirty work in our cyberpunk metropolis. And the Yagyu clan are well known for a martial art that they've developed, which they were the fencing instructors to the shogun back when Japan had a shogunate. And the Yagyu martial art, which is the new shadow style, is reputed and feared as the most effective and deadly martial art in all of Japan. So anytime you're watching anime and they need to show how badass someone is, they have them beat up a bunch of Yagyu guys.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I think that happens in the first episode of Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I think you're dead on.
Yeah.
Which one did you say was Deltronish?
The Kuki clan social engineer would be a good choice because you have a lot of social skills, and then you also have access to the Kuki clan space marine armor. Yeah,
sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
I wouldn't fight a dude for it, but that does interest me.
Yes. We've got the Nichiren secret agent. So a secret agent is a military intelligence operative. You're a member of the samurai class, but you disguise yourself as all types of things to blend in and gather information. Also known as a shinobi, ninja, or suppa, depending on your location. And this secret agent belongs to the Nichiren school of Buddhism. And this type of Buddhism is also, they don't believe that you can only have one religion, but they do believe they're the only ones who are right. And it's a form of Buddhism that was founded by this weird fisherman turned prophet who decided that all of the natural disasters and Mongol invasions and so forth that were coming to Japan were a result of people being bad at Buddhism, and he was going to fix that. So that's the Nichiren sect. There's so the secret agent in this setting, of course, is the Code Ninja, who infiltrates both systems and locations. There's the Iga League Warrior Monk. The Iga Provincial League was a revolutionary league of minor landowners and samurai, what you might call gentry, who banded together to fight against the big names and the really powerful samurai lords. And the warrior monk in this setting is the cyber monk. So you practice you belong to a Buddhist temple which gives cybernetic augmentations and bionic parts to people to emphasize. So you practice non-attachment by detaching yourself from your physical body and then attaching yourself to mechanical parts.
Wow.
Yeah. There's the Uyasugi clan shaman. The Uyasugi clan was famous both for their honor and their deception. They were very sneaky. And they were also very honorable, which was a really rare thing in Warring States era Japan. Honor was kind of like a thing people had heard of, but no one really did it. When, betrayal is just so much more effective. There goes the train again. So the Uyasugi clan shaman in this setting is the Uyasugi clan techno shaman, who specializes in manipulating consciousness and moving consciousness from bodies into other places. So if someone's body is dying, you could transfer them into a drone or into an artificial body or something like that. And finally, there's the Shimazu clan farmer. The Shimazu clan was sort of they were an outsider clan. They were never as cool as the most important clans in Japan. They were the first clan to adopt firearms en masse, and then that kicked off a craze for muskets across all of Japan. But the Shimazu clan started it, and you would be this character is a gold farmer. So you instead of the farmer, yeah, it's the gold farmer. So you specialize in deriving wealth from unexpected places. So you might do Bitcoin mining. You might gather money and wealth from inside World of Warcraft, something like that. So all of these characters as printed are the regular Thousand Arrows feudal Japanese versions, and we're just gonna update their weapons and armor and allies and so forth. So does anyone feel inspired by one of these?
I'm feeling a couple of them.
All right.
I'm really intrigued by the shaman and the farmer.
Sweet.
If anyone else isn't interested in either one of those.
All right.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna take the farmer. Actually, I really like the idea of being an MMO like junkie who's trying to make it by and like support their organization through this habit. Also,
excellent. I will copy a version of that character sheet into our notes document.
Sweet.
For you to modify. Anyone else? Rich?
Does anybody else want the Cookie Clan courtier?
I think Cookie suits you so well, Rich.
I don't know if I can play that out of type, but I'll try to be Cookie.
Nice. Okay.
Then
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
I was I kind of like either the Yagyu foot soldier or the Catholic retainer. I think the Yagyu is going to be a good jam, so I will take the Yagyu if no one else is desperate for it.
Okay.
That's exactly the pair I was gonna say as well. So I guess I will go for the salary man, right? That's the Catholic retainer.
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
salary
cool.
man. Right.
Perfect. Then I'll get to see it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And courtier, Catholic retainer, Yagyu clan ganger. Right. Copy those in. Cool. Gold farmer, social engineer. Yeah. All right, so they should all be in there. And yeah, do you all have edit access on that document?
Yes.
Can you all rate? And then let me see if there are any special moves that we have for okay. All right, let's do a quick tour of the character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So, up at the top, there's your allegiance and role, and then there are four rows of look options. They read across. I have to make that more clear. So, you can pick one from each row or roll a die to help you choose. I am okay. Yeah. So you might have, if you're the social engineer, smoldering, thoughtful, soft, dreamy, yearning, or fiery eyes. And these are just cosmetic. Yeah. Your rings are your numerical stats. So when we roll, you're going to be rolling 2 or 3 six-sided dice, depending on the situation, plus one of the rings. Most rolls are 2d6 plus or minus a ring. If you have advantage or disadvantage, you're going to roll 3 dice and take the 2 highest or the 2 lowest. And then Earth is physical things. It's your facility with wealth, crafts, and objects. So if you're a poor farmer who works with their hands, or you're a rich lord who has vast holdings, then you might have a high Earth rating. Water is your physical proficiency, your prowess, toughness, agility, that kind of thing. Fire is your social skills. Wind is your senses, perspicacity, and intellect. And void is stealth and magic and mystery. So, let's see. All right. So, the character sheets then have your special moves. There's a number of basic moves, which everyone has access to. The basic moves are in the player's guide on page... Chris is back. So everyone has access to the basic moves, which are in the player's guide, starting on page 7, is it? Yeah, I think so. In addition, every character has a number of special moves, which are peculiar to their allegiance and role. And I think you guys may have access to some extras. Let's see, social engineer, all right, so the ganger has a special version of their normal move. All right, so instead of formation fighter, I'm going to give you something a little bit more suited to the setting. Give you an example of the kind of change that we make here. So instead of having formation fighter, you have the future version of that, which is called machine gun funk. So I've made that little change there.
I see it.
Yes. The weapon suggestions are all examples. If you want to have a different weapon that you specialize in, then that is also quite acceptable. And then let's see, the salaryman, the social engineer, and the gold farmer do not have setting peculiar moves, so the rest are the same. Okay, cool. Okay. So look over your moves. You have the first 2, and then as you level up, you can get access to the remaining options.
How do you level up?
You level up by getting experience, which comes from failure, or making attachment moves, or what else? Or helping financial groups achieve their objectives. So the allegiances in this setting are called financial groups, which would be zaibatsu in Japanese, and they are mega corporations which operate on a partly dynastic model. So if you're in a Japanese mega corporation, even though technically it's a modern organization, many of them still function on a model that resembles feudal dynastic lineage. So the CEO's son or daughter might be expected to take up their father's mantle after he dies, or when he retires. Yeah. So you have access to those first 2 special moves. And then if you keep looking down, some of you may have some options to choose. Let me check. Power. Peter. Yeah, so the Yagyu clan ganger should pick a weapon or armor specialty. But aside from that, yeah, the
That's just the thing on the first move.
Yes. Where there are those the little arrows, you'd choose one of those. Or if you wanted to pick a more archaic weapon. So my excuse for ancient weapons still being relevant is that, first of all, cyberpunk cities are extremely dense and tightly packed together. So you don't have a huge amount of space, which makes things like assault rifles kind of not that useful under most situations. Moreover, with expensive machinery all over the place, over-penetration is a problem with bullets. So if you shoot someone and miss and it hits something of value to you or something else, you can lose a lot of your own money at worst, or possibly cause an explosion at best.
Oh God.
Yeah. So close combat, hand-to-hand weapons are still popular because it's harder to miss someone and break something explosive with, say, a club.
Makes sense.
So yeah, if you look at the next section, it's materiel. So this is your military gear, and you may wish to update this to suit our far future or near future setting. So if you have a sword and you'd like to replace it with a pistol or a machine pistol or something like that, you can do that. If you have armor, you might want it to be power armor or chameleonic camo armor or something like that. All right, well, Rich has got it. Nice. And underneath your material, or next to your material, is your section. So this is the gang who works for you.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out if that's like further options for equipment, because I just couldn't tell. Awesome.
Yeah, you're all very important people, and you have a lot of people working for you. So yes, you can also update these individuals to a more futuristic loadout. Did I put that into? I'm gonna save you some trouble, Rich, and move that back to. I think that formatting was mostly meant for printouts.
Wait, what are you saving me? Wait, you're messing with my stuff? What are you doing?
I'm messing with your stuff a little bit.
All right,
yes.
that's all you want. I'm just trying to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to move it because I put in the picture, so it moved everything down a whole bunch. I was trying to get stuff a little tighter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then, hold on a second. All right.
So instead of a war horse, I would have a motorcycle.
You could have a motorcycle, or you could have a what I call a charger. It's like a cybernetic warhorse.
Okay.
Like in the Diamond Age.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And would that be considered like cheaper?
No, they kind of do the same thing.
Okay.
They have similar capabilities.
Charger.
Yeah. I've rewritten my warhorse as an armored jeep, basically.
That sounds good. Yeah, perfect.
Stop me if this is too like metagamey. I chose the ability Beneath Notice so that when I'm around peasants, I can mimic their behavior and blend in.
You start with just the first two underneath special moves.
Oh, I thought
you can get those when you level up.
I thought you picked two more. Oh, my bad.
No, sorry.
I was just gonna ask. Okay, I'll delete that. Perfect. But then, so I was gonna ask anyway if I could have like armor that is meant for blending in, like just reinforced, like regular clothes, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Street clothes with like padding and reinforcement under them.
Yeah. Like nothing. Like I could walk into a club or the bank within that kind of thing.
Right. Excellent. All right.
Okay, got it. That makes sense.
Cool. So yeah, so take a minute. That. The MP5. We'll be using it for hundreds of years to come.
It's a classic of the genre. We cannot leave it behind, right?
Yes.
I need a Mac 10 then. If we're doing it, I need a Mac 10 or an Ingram smart gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I chose a telescoping titanium bow.
Nice.
B-O.
Oh, like that thing that keeps showing up in Facebook ads, which is terrible.
Yeah. Only this
you guys
one
have
is
seen that? The thing that like pops out. Yeah.
Yes. Only this one is for real, man.
Nice.
It's for real.
Yeah, I looked at the one on Facebook, and my first was like, "Oh man, I would love to have this weapon if I were white." And then I actually looked at what it was made of, and it's made of stainless steel. So if you hit anything, it's gonna like fly back and stab you in the face.
God.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's all the basic choices that we gotta make. Let's start introducing ourselves to each other. So in the next section, we're gonna do our attachments to each other. Buddhism teaches us that attachments are bad, and you all have them. Everyone has attachment. Everyone has an attachment to their drive. This is the thing that you care about. What are your various drives that I gave you? So the social engineer has a drive towards face, so your reputation is really important to you. Salaryman has faith in our Lord Jesus Christ. The Yagyu clan ganger has refinement, or trying to look as educated and erudite as you can. And the Shimazu clan gold farmer is attached to loyalty.
Loyalty.
So, yes. You also have an attachment to yourself. This is your wound track, basically. As you experience privation or injury, your self track goes up. And then you also have bonds. Each of you will have a bond to the 3 other characters. So once you have their names, you can write them in next to where it says bond : and then we'll see how you guys feel about each other based on your attachments. So, cool. So everyone's everyone's drive is going to start at level 1. Because it's much more interesting. So normally when you're starting a game, you can have your drive start at either 0 or 1. Having attachments that are at high ratings is both good and bad. Because if you're deeply attached to something, then it's easier for you to mess with them or to help them out. But it's also dangerous, because if your attachment goes past +3, then you obsess over that attachment. And this is if you've ever played Monster Hearts, it's based on Darkest Self. Your role play has to change as you get really fixated on whatever it is. So if you had an attachment to chivalry, then that might turn into vainglory. Or if you have an attachment to reputation, that would turn into shame. And there are various ways to get yourself out of it. But one of the most reliable and popular in the Warring States period was to betray your attachment.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a pretty easy way to become unattached.
Yes, that's a pretty, solid rule of thumb for Warring States samurai in general. If you're not really sure what to do or how to get out of this bad situation, just find someone to betray.
Mm-hmm. Just shove all the bad stuff onto someone else.
Exactly. And the salaryman named himself Akechi, so I know you understand that principle. All right, so yeah, let's introduce ourselves to each other. So tell us your character's name, your pronouns, and a little about yourself, what you look like. By the way, with regard to pronouns, let me just pull up my player's guide. So, content and safety and so forth. First of all, are we all familiar with the X card?
Yes.
Great. Okay, cool. So we'll be using the X card for safety for this game. Just throw up the X with your hands, Worldwide Wrestling style, or type the X over there in the chat box. And whatever it is, we'll move it off screen, say it didn't happen, etc., etc. As far as content goes for this game, Thousand Arrows is a game about war. There is likely to be a good deal of violence and bloodshed. It's not necessarily graphic or gory, but there is the violence that you would associate with warfare. The interpersonal drama of the game can involve relationships and sex. Being in love with other characters, especially other characters you're not supposed to be in love with for one reason or another, often is a very reliable source of quality drama in this game. Samurai sometimes committed ritual suicide. It's not a huge part of this game, but it can happen. Religion sometimes figures in the game, as with the Catholics. And then as far as power dynamics go, so feudal Japan had rampant classism, and the classism is entrenched in samurai culture in a way that the game doesn't always question. Street Samurai versus Code Ninja kind of doubles down on that, because in many cyberpunk games, you'd be playing these sort of scrappy underdogs trying to scrape a living by working for mega corporations or trying to steal from them or that kind of thing. And in Street Samurai versus Code Ninja, by default, you work for some of the most powerful financial groups, and you have access to their resources and the ability to rise up in them and become, the 1% of the 1% if you want. So something I just wanted to warn you about is that that kind of class divide, which is present in both samurai and cyberpunk media, can get pretty intense in this game. As far as the other identity issues that might come up in feudal Japan, feudal Japanese society ran on a really strong gender binary, which Thousand Arrows does not care about. So if you really want to play a character who is defined by gender-based oppression, we can talk about it. That's probably fine. But by default, no one is really going to bat an eye if you are a female or non-binary samurai. It's just not really a type of historical accuracy that I care about recreating.
Sure.
Yeah. Ability sometimes gets weird in cyberpunk because people have access to, robot parts and so forth. So ability ends up kind of getting subsumed into class in some ways. Let's see. Race and ethnicity, again, we're in the future. There's a great deal of immigration to Japan from countries like Brazil, Korea, China, and the Philippines. But again, generally speaking, you can be the race you want in this cyberpunk game. And sexuality, again, it's the future. So the setting has, I guess, even less of the like in feudal Japanese society, you know, there were heterosexual relationships were very often political. They're about, you know, who marrying this guy to that woman to cement an alliance between these two families. And then samurai would often just look to other men for actual like romantic relationships. So your relationship with another man would have to be monogamous and dedicated and romantic and very, very specific. And then your relationships with women would be either transactional, or you would go hang out with courtesans, or you'd have, you know, one or more wives or so forth. So, but again, this is the cyberpunk future, so that's
we've moved beyond that basically.
Yes.
It's a lot more progressive, maybe.
Yes, hopefully. We'll see.
I'm standing up to close a door. I will be back in 30 seconds.
Sure. So that's what's going on with ability, or with identity. But yeah, let's get some names.
Don't start with me.
Okay. So the easiest way to name your character is to pick the what names did you have? Okay, there's a Shimazu, there's a Kuki, there's an Akechi, Yagyu. So the easiest way to name yourself is just to have as your last name your clan's name. So I think that would be Yagyu or Shimazu for the two people who haven't chosen.
And I see the name chart in the player's guide.
Yes, but this is, again, the cyber future, so more common Japanese names as you might, if you met a Japanese person today, that they might have are also quite appropriate here, which is convenient because feudal Japanese women's names are just a trash fire. Like history just completely, like male samurai have like 20 names apiece and like change their name a bunch of times over the course of their lives every time, you know, their favorite food changed or whatever. And for women, we have maybe one name recorded for any given woman. And we have almost no idea what you would actually say to get the attention of a feudal Japanese woman, because history just completely messed up actually recording many of their names.
Yeesh.
But yeah,
I think
so.
I think I'm gonna go with Suki.
Okay, that works.
Okay, and she, her.
Right.
So where do you want us to put the names?
Just you can put them in the title field of your character, like next to their allegiance and role.
That's what.
And then I will, copy them down into the player characters listing. So yeah, let's introduce ourselves. Akechi Haruki, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Akechi Haruki is a man, I think dresses very conservatively in a three-piece suit. I think maybe very not off the rack, let's put it.
Yes.
I don't know if he is working for a bigger clan in the fiction. I mean, I hesitate to say Nobunaga or something like that, too telegraphed, you know. So he, I imagine, is like a direct subordinate for the clan. You know, maybe organizes various special projects for the clan in the city, wherever we are. I think it might be a little bit retro, but I think maybe he wears a trilby hat or something like that with a wide brim.
Nice.
It goes with a suit, you know. It looks very stylish, very refined, very not street, right? drives around in a big armored truck.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, good to meet you. Who's next? Jun Mikoto Ika. Tell us a little about yourself.
I chose. So there's an L5R game that I played way back in the day, where we played a minor clan that was made up by the GM, and it was the Squid Clan, and Ika is.
I'm so here for this,
dude. It was like the coolest. I'll tell you the story, but basically,
all my complaints about L5R are rescinded. There's a squid that's amazing.
The Squid Clan was the best. We will talk later. Anyway, I'm going to use that name as pretending that like many thousands of years that the Ika clan still kind of exists for this Kuki clan social engineer.
Yeah, you're probably from Hokkaido.
There you go. I'm from Hokkaido. Yeah. That's it. That's totally it.
They have like a squid. They have an Ika dance, a squid dance. They do there.
Yes. So as you can look, you can see the cool heavy armor. June is a Zer, transgendered, born male, went female, but after transition, just really doesn't want to touch anyone, and so prefers to wear armor. All sexes, cyber sex, really just doesn't feel like sharing their flesh with anyone. And they have the cool moves of the Art of Power, which is a social skill, showing people how you feel, and the Red Right Hand, pledging allegiance to factions in order to get power. So some pretty cool stuff going on for Zer. Are you okay with the idea of a flechette smart gun?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So it shoots plastic rounds. It really won't go through the hull of anything. If you've got armor, it's not going to work as well against you. But if you're a regular dude standing there with a sword, you're in some trouble. And I think Z is forced into the social role, good at it, really prefers to the comfort of mixing things up and having an excuse to wear armor, as opposed to when social mores will say, no, you need to walk in here in a kimono and look nice.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I like that. Awesome.
Okay, I'll go. So Tsuki of the Shimazu clan, she... I'm imagining her. She's pretty short, but she and like with very short black hair that's like almost kind of looks wet. She likes to wear a lot of black. That's reinforced armor as well, but it's also very latexy and shiny for when she goes out raving. And I imagine that because she has this little gang of like followers essentially that like fight for her occasionally. I'm imagining that she basically runs like a little warren of gamers, and they spend most of their time like full VR raiding and stuff like that, and making money, of course, for the clan. But when they need to, they'll go out and they'll like run an IRL hit on on an opposing guild.
Excellent. That's awesome.
And it's just a bunch of like her little warren, like everyone kind of like sleeps in the same room, games in the same room. It's like a dozen or two like unicorn fairy types. Like they're very much into rainbows and glitter, but also like the other half of the room is very much into like just black and skulls and bones, and it all gets thrown together in a very weird amalgamation.
Little Princess Luna, Little Nightmare Moon. I like that.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Yeah. So are you a formal esports team or?
No, I think that's a part of our shame and resentment. I think most of it is actually done covertly, and it's definitely a lot more shadowy and illegal at times.
Ooh, nice. All right.
You need a sponsorship deal, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I feel like our name is too far gone for that. Like we're people, they know who we are. They're like, oh, I don't know. They had that ad campaign that went bad because nobody showed up on time in the morning.
We have a branding department that will take care of that.
Okay, well, maybe we can work something out.
Nice. All right, and finally,
yeah, Yagyu Eiko. She is. She always sort of looks like she's about to, or she always sort of looks like she's just heard that her dog died. She has kind of a very mournful demeanor. She also claims she's I forget which character it was on a long running. It may have been on Leverage, but she says over and over and over again, always says, "I hate guns," but is really expertly trained in the use of handguns and
right. Yeah, that's Elliot Spencer in Leverage.
Yeah, and especially so I took both of the pistol trainings, so
Sweet.
Stealth and disarmament for using the weapon. But if she's actually using the pistol, you're probably not going to see her use it, so she can still get away with saying, "I hate guns." She carries this telescoping bow staff that actually works. It is flexible titanium, so it's got to be an alloy of some sort. It's the future, man. Don't judge my titanium. And
Just like Blade.
Yeah, and actually, I'm going to change that and just make it a carbon fiber bow.
Oh, awesome.
Which is more cyberpunk anyway.
Yes.
But it's still it's telescoping so that she can carry it basically in almost a short scabbard on her side and then pull it out, and it goes to the appropriate length, 4 or 5 feet,
Sweet.
whatever that is.
I like it.
And she wears also carbon fiber body armor, but it's sort of like the like long johns, right underneath her clothes. It's basically, it won't necessarily stop a bullet that's really determined, because she wants to be able to move, and she's a close quarters expert.
Excellent.
So she'll punch a dude.
All right. Nice. Excellent. So that's our 4 characters. Let's go through our attachments. So underneath attachments, everyone has 3 questions, which again they're the feudal Japanese versions, but perhaps we'll have we can update those. So we're going to go around, and on your turn, you're going to ask one of those questions with regard to yourself. So if you're the gold farmer and it says, "Who owns your fields?" That's who owns the gold farmer's fields. And then anyone can answer, and anyone can answer any character. So I could answer, and I could say, "Oh, I think that should be Eiko." So feel free to suggest yourself or anybody else, and we'll work out how that works. So yeah, let's go around one question at a time. Once the train goes by, and every time a character figures in the answer to a question, so if you ask the question and then another character is in the answer, then you can increase your attachment with them by 1.
You can, or you?
Oh, sorry, you should.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
I'm like, is there what?
My
Just thinking about like, why wouldn't I, or why should I?
No, yes, you do increase your attachment to them by 1. Yeah. Cool. All right. Who would like to start?
I'll jump forward. Who's the prettiest? I'm nice and vapid that way.
Yeah. So you just so you know, because this always comes up with the courtier or social engineer, you can answer myself, in which case you don't increase any attachments. But I'd say about 2/3 of the time, like the courtier or the social engineer is in play, I'm like, so you can say yourself if that's what you think, and it would not really give you any advantages. The social engineer is just like, yep.
Which ring uses is used for like social stuff?
It depends. For most people, fire is the ring associated with social things, but the social engineer is very canny and calculating. So the social engineer can use wind instead of fire to do social things.
It's probably not me as much as I might like to be.
Yeah, nice try. Next. What about Eiko? Yakyu Eiko.
Yeah.
How pretty are you?
I think, well, low fire, but I'm pretty in a sort of like almost that sad woman in the Renaissance painting kind of way.
You're pretty like a girl standing in the rain is pretty.
Yeah. That's good.
I could see that.
Yeah.
You're the prettiest then.
Okay.
Is it okay, Catholic salary man, if you're not the prettiest? Or are you?
It's okay.
Are you the prettiest?
Well, the fire is plus
He might think
2,
so.
and I'm stylish and such. But I'm okay with not being the prettiest. I mean,
yeah, I think you like anyone else would say, "Oh, you're the prettiest," and that Z should choose that. But I think the sadness really calls and adds like a little bit more. So I'm gonna go with Yakyu Eiko.
I mean, it's a good job. It's always raining, right? Because
Yes, exactly.
off the charts.
Using the goth option, I like it.
So we add to that by like what, taking the dark heart that you've got in face and maybe just replace some of the blank ones.
Yeah, so you'd put the black heart, the emoji heart, over the leftmost heart next to Eiko's name.
I feel like Link. I'm just saying, it's a good thing though.
Yes, excellent.
Sweet. We just asked one and go around.
Yeah, next.
Okay, I'll go. You started with mine earlier. So who owns your fields?
Fields. So that could be the basement where you work. It could be like the RPG that you play.
Oh, I could see our Warren, which is what I've taken to calling it, like being owned.
I would have gone with servers. Who owns your server farm?
There we go.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's totally it. All of our hardware.
All right. So, Lord Akechi, do you own those?
Yeah, I think we have a department where we've given you some space on our cloud tenancy, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Lord Akechi, ask us one.
The first one on my list is, who is my superior?
And it could conceivably be an NPC if you want it to be Oda Nobunaga.
Yeah, that's fine by me. I'm just wondering, can we link the PCs much tighter for a one shot?
That is my preference. If we can do that,
if it makes sense.
So, who wants to be Lord Akechi's superior? I think Jun Mikoto Ika is the obvious choice here.
It's true.
You are highly placed.
You're a sorry man. No offense.
Yeah.
And so I feature in that answer. Do I increase the face?
You do not. Only.
Okay, cool. Just making sure if it was two-way or just one way.
Yes. Okay. All right. Is that all four of us, or do we have someone left?
I am left.
Okay.
I would like to ask, who exceeds my station, yet heeds my counsel? Everybody.
Well, you are a gold farmer. Yeah, it could be anybody.
I'm not a gold farmer.
Oh, sorry, you're the ganger.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So there are many options to exceed my station.
I think because my team sort of does some like shadowy stuff. Like we're sort of just getting into the street warfare, the gang warfare, if you will. I would totally heed your counsel. You've been at this a lot longer than I have, and I'm drawing on that experience.
Great.
And you're Tsuki, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
So that increases your attachment to me.
Correct.
Okay, but not
Tsuki,
mine.
You do not modify yours.
Great.
Yeah. All right. Who's next?
I think we circled back around to me. Is that right?
Sure.
Who do I think is in love with me? Wow.
No,
It's-
that
I mean,
one.
I think it is completely inappropriate for me to be in love with my boss. So let's go with that.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a good answer.
Now you understand how I like to answer these questions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, and it doesn't need to be true. It specifically says,
Yes.
"Who do you think?" So I could be wrong.
Yes. Excellent. All right. Who's next?
Thank you.
And I'm happy that you don't think I'm the prettiest, because that would be too much pressure.
I think I'm next. Who has taken something from you, and what was it?
I could have recruited one of your farmers into my meat space gang.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh. I mean, because like that's obviously I look up to you, but that's still a little. What the heck? I like it.
Cool.
So now we're pointed at each other pretty hard. I
Mhm.
like that. I'll ask my second, which is who underestimates me and mine?
Ooh. Hmm.
Everyone. Everyone.
Yeah, like
every-
do I fight for that? Because we all do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I underestimate after having one of my own people taken.
Yeah.
As
Maybe
a salaryman, do I run with a crew, like a SWAT team? Is that how I understand the retinue on my sheet correctly?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it could be that, I think our people are better than these gangs. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You have corpsec.
Okay.
You don't have gangs.
We will wipe the floor with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It is known.
They have matching uniforms. Okay, it's very different from gang colors. Okay. All right. Who's next? That have you done everyone's second question?
I've only done
Lord
one so
Akechi,
far,
have
so
you
I think
done
it's
yours?
me.
All right, so you're up.
Who saw or helped me commit a disloyal act?
Ooh.
I'm shocked.
Mm.
I like that one. I would totally be down to help you commit some Well, no, loyalty is actually one of my drives. So,
It's saw or
Well,
helped.
what if loyalty to your superior superseded Lord Akechi's loyalty to his?
Yeah, that would totally work, and I would totally help you be disloyal to your own superior in that regard. It also, it doesn't help that I pay rent to you in some way, shape, or form. So maybe I felt compelled to do so, or maybe I wanted to do so to try and get a little like something on you to maybe, just in case something in the future happened.
What was the disloyal act?
Let me think.
Think about it.
Okay, yeah, I'll come back to it.
All right.
Sweet.
Cool. Let's do our last round of questions.
Okay, this one's going to be a little hard for me because I'm now situated like I have people above me and like below me, but also not really. This question is, who respects you as an equal?
Interesting.
And Jun Makoto, you're the only one that I don't have a bond with yet at this point.
I'd like to push towards that one. Yeah, I'm curious how that works.
Like, why do you see me?
Yeah.
Why do you respect me as an equal?
Yeah.
You
On
just
what
say
level?
right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if I play in that RPG through a private account and I respect how good you are in it?
I'm an excellent guild master.
He's a nerd. Okay, excellent.
I show like a lot of maybe like leadership potential online.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's up to you if I know you outside of that realm. But in that realm,
oh, that's great. Z doesn't even know it's you.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Cool.
I wonder what the now I have to think about like what is the tie that like identifies my organization, my group, both in and out of the game. What connects it? I'll think about that. But I like that like maybe you hung out with our guild when you started playing.
It's more than that. My tune or avatar is like super in love with your character. Doesn't have to be returned, but like. Yeah, all of the emotion that Z does not exhibit, like in the game, yes, all in, 100%.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Can I throw something out just for color?
Yeah,
I think it actually has to be a Warring States period MMO.
That is wicked.
Just to get totally meta with this, it has to be a Warring States MMO.
Okay.
That's perfect.
That's good.
That's great. Yeah. It's far in the future after Thousand Arrows becomes an extremely successful RPG property and has been optioned by like
we're folded
Disney
back in
or
on
something.
ourselves. That is great.
Yeah. I lost control of the IP a long time ago. I'm really bitter about it.
We're approaching a singularity. I think we should stop now.
We have to go deeper.
Hodes is just a head in a jar now, bitching about losing 1,000 arrows.
Aeroception.
Yes.
Nice.
That's amazing. Okay.
Stuff.
All right. Next question.
I'll jump forward with my last question. Who has seen you in a moment of weakness? What was it? Is it Suki? Because you're the only person who hasn't been an answer, and I think I think
so. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
we had some sort of like scene during a sunset online.
Oh gosh. So I think that occasionally, and this of course may not make it on scene in a one shot, but occasionally Jun Makoto writes little Senru about the times with your tune.
Yeah. Oh, do we not play together anymore? Is that something that's in the past?
If the only reason we don't play is if you don't play, because unless Jun Makoto has to do stuff for their clan, that is where Z likes to be.
All right, so we're definitely we're definitely still playing.
Yeah,
perfect.
Let's just say that on the command line for this game, Jun never types in the /time to see how long Z has been playing this thing because it's too depressing.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. Who's next?
I'll jump up. And I think this will be an easy way to fill out so that I have a bond with everybody. Whose orders do I follow? and I think that's got to be Jun Mikoto. And the reason I say that is that I think we could be, me and mine could be your sort of like a deniable side force for you.
Ooh, cool. Yeah. Like maybe you're a vassal clan, but we've kind of officially severed the relationship so that you're a deniable asset. That sounds cool to me.
Cool. I like it.
Is it me? I've got one question, and I think it points pretty neatly towards Aiko, which is, who do I suspect of treachery and why?
Oh,
That works for me.
Yeah.
You know, I think the why it can easily be, I mean, since it's suspect of treachery, the why can easily be something as simple as one of your people got knifed in an alley at a time when you know that my people were somewhere in the vicinity. It doesn't have to be super specific, right? In order to, in this style of game, it doesn't cause much to raise suspicion.
Yeah. Could it have been during the kind of the point in time where we were severing contacts officially?
And
So there
maybe
was an appearance of a small conflict, but this was one of my key people who was off limits. So there was a bunch of casualties who were knowing they were going to die, right? But this guy, a lieutenant or something, was not on that list, but he ended up being killed anyway.
so. Friendly, unfriendly fire.
Exactly,
I like it.
yeah.
I like it.
awesome. Great. So I think that is everybody here. Let me just go over the player's guide to make sure I've got everything. All right. We've got content warnings. We've got our safety mechanics. We've got our character creation. Yeah, I think we're all set up. So let's take a quick break. Come back in about 10 minutes or so, and then we can get started.
Awesome.
All right.
Great. See y'all in a bit.
All right. See you soon.
See you soon.
So I'll quickly tell you the story of the Squid Clan while people are coming back. So in Legend of the Five Rings, there are all these colorful clans, but there's no real good reason for them to work together in the fiction. You can be an imperial ambassador and kind of be like U.S. Marshals, but that's about it. So the idea that the GM came up with was the Ika was a commoner who had saved the emperor, and he elevated him to be a minor clan and ended up sticking him in kind of not a great craggy cliff area, but there was enough honor to that guy's name. He's the grandfather of the clan, so we were playing the grandsons and granddaughters. His first generation of kids, he sent each of them to the different major clans and had them spend their lives training there. And so our character creation options were we would choose what clan we found most interesting, and that would be our
foster with them.
Yeah. And so within the third generation of this clan, we had access to all the cool clan aspects, but also their kind of personalities and loyalties and stuff. So it was a really, really fun game. So we had a nice variety of awesome samurai, and that's the story.
Cool. Awesome. Man, I love Squid. Cephalopods of all.
Ika clan. Ika.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right, so I think we're all back. Cool. So what do we got here? Cookie Clan Social Engineering.
I'm putting my hood up to get in character.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
And then taking it down because it's too warm.
I'll imagine the hood. Like, I think hood whenever Paul talks.
Yes. Okay.
So are we using this roll for your party to roll dice?
I'm fine with you guys using physical dice.
Okay. I have I have these 6 metal 6-sideds that I use exclusively for games powered by the apocalypse.
Let me see them. Show. You have to show us your cool dice.
I should get one, I guess.
With different colors.
Oh, those are dope.
I love them.
Hold them up again. Hold them up again. Ooh, very nice.
I love them.
I don't roll in this game, but I can still use them to roll up names and so forth.
It's always nice just having them on hand for any purpose, really.
Yeah.
I'll be using roll for your party because I didn't bring physical dice with me today.
Yeah, I have these guys.
Nice.
Oh, those are neat.
There's 1, 2.
Are those Eiko dice? Where'd you get those? Those are
3.
Cool. Ooh, oh, I like that.
That's nice design.
Yeah. 4. 5 and 6.
I really like that because each of the designs will be easy to read. That's well done.
Yeah. Yeah. They're very, very distinctive. I really like that.
Because with a lot of like distinctive dice, they can actually be harder to read. Like a lot of the specially branded ones.
What's the I can't remember. I think they're like a Polish group that does dice, and they're really beautiful, but they're impossible to read at the table. For me. I can't remember the name of them, but like they're always at Gen Con. Their stuff is beautiful art pieces, but they're not things that I could use at a table. I just can't see
them. Let's see. So I'm curious, what's everyone's allegiance's current big project?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Or
your crew's current big project.
I want to take over that RPG.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the idea of trying to go legit while maintaining this underground kind of deal, like just because that's what we have to do to maintain. But at the same time, we need to expand, and that requires being, above board in a way. So I like the idea of like the dealing with that challenge.
Cool. So I like the idea that there's a new esports stadium being built. And it's going to be someplace weird. I think it's going to be like a low orbit, like an exospheric stadium. So it's accessible by it's accessible by like a space elevator, let's say, from one of the some of the big skyscrapers. Not just one. There's like a bunch of different accesses, and it's still being constructed.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have the Catholic Church, the Shimazu clan, the Kuki clan, and the Yagyu clan. And Lord Akechi, are you also, in addition to your attachment to the Akechi family, do you have any other more temporal allegiance? You're working for Jun Mikoto, right? Is that it?
Yeah. I guess I'm one of her lieutenant, or one of Zer's lieutenants.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not sure if I have a specific project for that allegiance at the moment. I like to think that I'm like, the big bad dog that is in the guardhouse that comes out for special occasions.
Excellent. I like that.
For the church, I'm not sure. Do you think I should come up with a little project for that?
Yeah, I'm curious if something comes to mind.
And this kind of ties into the act of treachery that we kind of hinted at or questioned earlier on.
Yes.
I think I'm involved in smuggling in or giving new identities to missionaries who are coming from the lunar colony.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So there's some, super secret Jesuit school up there on the Sea of Tranquility.
Yeah. Right. From like Our Lady of Tranquility.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? Oh, that's great. Okay.
Copernicus is rolling over in his grave. I think for Yagyu, I think for my personal crew, I'd like to, since it's a one shot, I'll tie it back in to the esports stadium.
Sure.
And yeah. I think one of the construction contracts somehow slipped through the net and wound up going to a rival of Jun Mikoto.
Okay.
And so we're actually sort of actively doing a little bit of sabotage and harassment on the ground to make that company's life more difficult.
Ooh, I like that. All right, nice. I would love to start with that scene then. So let's say that the rival clan who got the contract are the Konishi clan. Let's see. And the head of the Konishi clan is Konishi Yukinaga, who better known by his or he would like to be better known by his Christian name, Lord Agostinho. So he is one of the most high-profile Catholic lords in all of Neo Japan, and but he's also known as like a sleazy, treacherous kind of guy. Anytime you want to send someone to make a deal with your enemy and have the deal look really good, but then have all kinds of fine print that'll totally screw the other guy. Lord Agostinho, he's the one to do it. And so probably through one of these sleazy deals, he's managed to get the Kanishi clan, who have no particular skill at construction, to have one of the more important contracts to build this space elevator. So I want to know who would be involved on either side in an effort to screw up the Kanishi clan's endeavors.
Well, clearly, if it comes to, say, physical intervention, then Eiko would be there.
Definitely.
With, crowbars and sledgehammers, if nothing else.
Sorry, Rich, say again.
I was mouthing the words, I love it, yes. Sorry, I just got excited. So it was inaudible on purpose. I think I'm involved too, right? The Kanishi are the ones who would own the RPG, the Thousand Arrows MMO.
Say that again, sorry.
The Kanishi own the Thousand Arrows MMO?
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, I'm actively working against them.
Yeah. They got it from future Mendez in a sleazy deal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great. So they're using, I think they're using the MMO to promote their business, and they're also they've distributed information that you can get special skins and pets in Thousand Arrows.
What?
If you go to their construction site,
OMG,
and like take a selfie.
I am there 100%. I'm there with my whole crew, probably.
Nice.
So am I, but for other reasons. I totally check in.
Hey.
At the same time, if they own it, and I'm like, this would be a chance to maybe like parlay, like, hey, let's. We're really high level in your game, and we've got a pretty, medium web presence when we stream. So it's we could maybe partner up, something like that.
All right, great. So, let's say it's like early evening. Sun's down. The stars are impossible to see. The sky is, as always, the color of a television tuned to a dead channel, and as it always is. And this construction site is crowded as hell. So everybody knows that you can get these secret skins and pets by going to this construction site. And so the outer rims of it are just crowded with gamers. There's the signal is really intense. Traffic is getting rerouted like over and under it. I imagine that Neo-Tōkyō is a city with many levels, going way up, and there are like hover vehicles which are going over others and so forth. So yeah, there's like hover cars going back and forth. There are food speeders which have been set up to feed all of these crowds. I was, in Star Wars, if they have land speeders, right, then you must get tacos from a food speeder. Right?
Exactly.
It's your game, so I accept your logic.
Yeah. Right. So
a hover food truck.
Exactly. And yeah, so there's this giant messy crowd by the time that you get there.
Well, it probably doesn't help the mess that Tsuki is arriving on her charger, Blossom.
Oh wow!
Which has been modified to look like a white unicorn with a flowing mane. And she's running in, charging in with the rest of her crew. I don't have a guild for us. They were referred to in the character sheet as arquebusiers.
The arquebusiers.
Arquebusiers. So that's we run around in game with a whole bunch of muskets.
Awesome.
Yeah. So like our crest, like hanging on the back of like above on the back of my charger. The arquebusiers.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's happening, and everybody's taking pictures of you, being like, "Do you see this? This is awesome." There's memes of you already.
Yes.
And
she's wearing a wig today. Normally her hair is very short, but she's like wearing like a long blonde wig, I think.
That's great.
Which is funny because her character in the game is actually a male. She doesn't use a voice changer though, so it's clear that it's a young woman playing a male character.
Got it. All right. So as soon as the charger shows up, you can see that local security is getting really riled up, and you see they have some gangers that they've hired to protect the site, and they point over and they're like, "Oh, no, we can't have that." And you see a squad of security go through they have some barricades set up. They push the barricade out of the way, and there's a bunch of burly individuals. You can see that they're dressed in security uniforms, but they clearly have gang tattoos. So this is a gang who's been hired for the occasion, and so they're bullying through the crowd and
heading towards us.
Oh yeah.
Ah, shit.
They're like, so they're bullying through the crowd, pushing people out of the way, and they all have shock staves, like electrified quarterstaffs, and they're like pulling the triggers and making the electricity dance between them to intimidate people. And the one in charge points over at you and says, no. No chargers allowed.
She'll like sigh, move her wig, like push her wig back, and then after one of her members, her followers, have taken a selfie of her in front of it, like on the charger doing this, she'll dismount and have one of her people lead Blossom away.
You see that they look at each other and they're like, "Oh, that's okay. We'll take care of your charger for you. Just hand the reins to." Wait,
these gangers?
Right, yeah. We'll take care of it.
No. I have people who will escort Blossom away safely.
Okay. Yeah, these people right here. All right. Yeah. Why don't you go with them? Make sure that the horse gets away safely. And you can come in here. You're one of those streamers, right?
Yes, I am. I'm glad you recognized me.
Oh yeah, totally. You're from and then names like a team you're not from. It's much more famous.
I am from that team.
That's what I thought. All right. Come on over here. We'll get you to the site that has the best skin.
Perfect.
So a couple of the security guys are going off with your the person you handed off the reins of the charger to. And then the boss is going with you.
I felt like they were threatening. They were slightly threatening. I don't know, like
it's kind of ambiguous.
Do they have? Is there a role to be like? Are they messing with me? What do they?
Yeah, why don't you reconnoiter them?
Oh, okay. I have a special move. I can ask if I succeed. I can ask extra questions on that one. Actually.
Oh, excellent. So read us your special move.
So when I reconnoiter, I can always ask. This is because my clan never made it into Japanese society's highest echelons, but my position gave me insight into the thoughts and desires of foreigners and other fish out of water. So when I reconnoiter, I can always ask the bonus question, who here feels most out of place and why?
Great.
And then I can take +2 forward instead of just +1 to act on that answer. So I don't know I'll ask that question regardless.
Great.
If I succeed or not. And I roll wind?
Yeah, you roll with wind. This move is on page 8.
Got it. Okay. So I have +2. Oh, very nice. 11.
11. Okay. So you hold 3, and you can spend your hold 1 for 1 to ask questions from the list below. And then you also have your... so there's 2 bonus questions, actually. So anyone at any time, whenever you roll Reconnoiter, you can always ask the additional question, who here shares my drive?
Ah.
So anyone can do that anytime they Reconnoiter, even if you fail.
Interesting. So I'm going to ask 5 questions here.
5 whole questions, yes.
Oh, awesome. So Tsuki, of course, she has she organizes a band of misfits. So she's going to ask who here is the most out of place. Her bonus outsider move.
Okay, cool.
And
who
why?
here feels most out of place? So yeah, so I think all of these gangers are giving you a strong sense of, like, they're putting up a tough front, but you can see, their eyes are moving around from side to side, and they're, they're looking at each other with some trepidation. They've the uniforms don't fit quite right, and so they've clearly been brought on at the last moment, and. Yeah, you can hear they're grumbling about, like, how much they're getting paid, or whether it's worth it, or, oh, we didn't sign up to, like, wrangle fans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So great. I feel like they're out of place. So I think that my next question is going to be my first official question. What weakness exists that I can exploit? And I think they might be a particular weakness if they've just been hired.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's see. What weakness exists that you can exploit? They're kind of short-staffed, and you can tell that because they're talking with each other, and constantly saying, "Oh, did you send someone to cover the south exit?" Oh, no, I don't know. There's no one on the south exit. Yeah, move Taro over. Make sure that he's watching that. So they're like running around with, like, chickens with their heads cut off, making sure that everything is being covered. And yeah, so you can tell. And if you want to share that information with anybody else who's curious.
Okay.
That they're stretched thin.
Okay. Second question, or third question. What traps or dangers are hidden from me as I start moving through this crowd?
Okay. So if you look over at the construction equipment, and you notice that amidst the bulldozers and backhoes and cranes and everything, there's one vehicle that looks a little bit out of place. It's a walker.
A walker.
Yeah, it's like a
moving mech,
like an ATST kind of thing.
Whoa. Okay. There's a mech essentially sitting in the crowd.
Yeah, it's not super well protected. It's mostly like it's 2 long legs, and then there's a cab, but the canopy is not super well protected. It seems to be mostly design. It's pretty cheap, and it seems to be mostly designed with the thought that most of the things attacking the mech are going to come from below. So the, like, Howdah thing is itself not super well protected. It's like looks like the roll cage on a dune buggy.
Okay.
But it's powered down and collapsed in the construction equipment now.
Interesting. All right, making a note of that. I have one question left. Do I have to ask it now? I can hold,
No,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hold then.
Great.
And wait, using just scanning the crowd and heading towards where these gangers have said that the best streamers are gonna be.
Yeah. Marcelo, I think you're looking for the other Thousand Arrows game.
Yeah, I asked about it,
Mendez.
and somebody posted this link to the mustering point.
Yeah.
All right.
This is
Sorry.
this is future 1,000 arrows. You want past 1,000 arrows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize.
Thank you. No problem.
It's funny.
Yeah. Lost time traveler.
Or he
great.
came out of the MMO.
Yeah. So the head of the gang is guiding you forward and is gushing over the person that he thinks you are. Yeah.
I'm just gonna play along for now until I can get away from him.
Great. Jun Mikoto, you're on site also, right?
Yes, but I wouldn't admit to it.
Nice. So where are you in yours?
I mean, really, we just need to be able to ping. We just need to get in the geofencing area. So I imagine that me and mine, I have had one of my delegates set up some kind of official meeting that's like a building close enough to where I could just walk away, walk inside the geocaching of the building to get my ping and get my downloads from my pets.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, that's really what's going on.
Cool. Oh, I love that. Okay, so let's say that the next building over is owned by the next building over is owned by the Akechi clan, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So Akechi Haruki, your office probably is in here, or one of your many offices.
Yeah, so I have to think that if I know that my liege Jun Mikoto is going to be in the building, I may attempt to meet her on the way out of their other meeting, or outside or something.
Oh, it's totally a meeting with you. Like
Oh, okay.
We were looking through the Rolodex. Oh, Akechi's here. Fine. I will do a check-in meeting with Akechi Haruki. That sounds great. That's a good excuse. I mean, a good reason to go by.
Awesome.
So when we have our meeting, you need to nip out to make a phone call or something like that? Is that
yes? Yes. Okay. I love the phrase "nip out." I never get to use it. So yes, I will nip out to make a call.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's a great term. That's so cool.
All right. And Yagyu Echo, were you on site? I forget, for one reason or another.
I think she is.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And what my people are doing right now is scattering through the crowd and trying to figure out on my behalf how to start a riot.
Ooh, good question.
Because we want to damage the construction site.
Right.
And I think the best way to do that would be to get a bunch of pissed off gamers to do it for me.
Okay. That sounds good.
It shouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
By the way, that was totally Jun Mikoto's idea, because I don't think there's any way in hell that Eiko comes up with that plan on her own.
I'm sure that we collaborated on it.
Yeah.
There was some part of it, like wrenches, maybe. That was yours?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the sledgehammers was.
I was talking monkey wrenches. You brought actual wrenches. It works.
Yeah. All right. So are you? So you're scanning the crowd. I think you can also roll a reconnoiter if you like.
I will reconnoiter. I reckon I will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting back up to reconnoiter. Of course. Oh, wind is not that bad for me.
Yeah.
I'm flat on wind.
Yeah.
2. I'm being orange. Am I in the right one? Yes, I am. That is an 11.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So 3 questions plus who here shares my drive if you like.
Okay. My drive is not going to be very useful I might ask it, but well, clearly, what's the most effective path to my goal?
To start this riot?
Yeah.
Let's see. If you can convince the gamers that the goodies they have been promised are not actually available, either because you mess up, either because you like mess with the server, or you mess with like the signal in such a way that people can't actually download their stuff, or they download the wrong thing, or if they are told for some reason they can't get to the sites where they're trying to get to download the things. Yes, if they're denied access to what they want, these people, they're complaining. Some of them have been like, "Oh, I've been camping here since yesterday. I set up a tent," or like, "I paid protection money to the local gang so I could be here." So yeah, if they don't get what they want, they're gonna riot.
Was I able to, in a position to see the whole debacle with the charger, and then to see Suki?
Yeah, absolutely.
Led into the compound?
Yeah.
Well, then I think that's the tack I'm going to take, is to have my people start talking about the fact that only special guests are getting the really good stuff.
Oh, yeah, they're only letting the influencers in.
Yeah, and start urging people to press forward up against the barriers, to clamor for attention. I've got two more, or the good stuff. I've got two more questions.
All right.
And one of them will be, what weakness exists that I can exploit? And I think that it'll be probably similar to Suki's answer to that question.
Yes,
so if you want to shorthand that, then I can just,
and I'll give you some additional information also. They're talking about, you hear people, whenever the crowd looks unruly, you hear people talking about, like, "Do you think it's time to call for backup yet?" And someone else is like, "No, we can't call for backup. It has to be at the last moment possible, because if we call backup, they'll split the money with us."
Perfect. Ooh. Then I think it's time for my crew to pull the trigger on this.
Okay. Nice.
And I'll save the last question.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm gonna briefly. I want to see a little bit of the meeting between Lord Akechi and Jun Mikoto.
Cool.
So what's the agenda you have together put together for us?
It's particularly vague. I imagine there's some kind of hollow PowerPoint where you're trying to update me on everything that's going in our business holdings. And I'm barely paying any attention whatsoever because I'm just out of
so much time on those transitions.
They're really dope.
I mean, we are in the middle of quarterly crunch right now, so this is an extra overload. I'm obviously trying to make the best impression with my 76 slides long deck. God. I think it's really stressful for Akechi that Jun Mikoto does not seem to be caring about his presentation. Maybe he kind of kind of goes right to the end halfway through, because he thinks that Z will much prefer the bottom line of the value proposition of the presentation more than any of the actual details, and that's so unlike him.
Nice. Yeah, he's sitting there with like a hand unit. It's there's the thing where you just you take it, you expand it out, and it's like a plastic center, and so it's a nice mini tab, and he's been looking at it and swiping between the game app that would allow Zura to check in and the supplementary commentary on your slides, and growing less and less interested. See, isn't able to wear the power armor because it's a business visit, so that's putting Zura off of the whole feel of being comfortable in their own skin. So yeah, you skip to the end, and then all of a sudden, seems like this quarter will be good. What do you think the street will say? Let's see.
Do we really care what the street has to say? I mean, look at them out there. They're animals.
No, not the real street. Yes,
The Wall Street.
Well, your stocks are.
So you're also getting constant updates on your smartwatch or whatever, Lord Akechi, because the backup, if they call for backup, it's going to have to come from your crew.
Okay.
So if things go to hell, I think your company has fixed it so that because your security team is close by. If that gang that they hired for the because they were the lowest bidder to do security messes things up, then your very section, I think, will get called in.
Sure. So maybe I'll finally get the hint of these alerts and say to Jun Mikoto, I'm very sorry, my lord, but it would appear that this ruckus downstairs could drag me away from this meeting. My apologies. I'm ashamed to say I'm multitasking in your presence.
Well, Z says is like skipping back to the game and checking. I don't want to waste your time or mine. If we want to cut this short, closes up the little smart device stands. So be it. I appreciate the PowerPoint. If you could go ahead and upload that to my shared drive, I'll take a look at some of the slides you decide to skip.
My apologies again.
Okay.
Can I advise you to take the northern entrance on your way back? Well, the security alert is here at this ghastly display of esports.
Oh yeah.
So I think I will lead you over to the window, and I think we have a view of the construction site with the hordes of e-gamers down there taking their selfies. The crew who are running security have taken out I guess an insurance contract with my section, and it looks like they are just about to activate the clause of that contract. They need our help, in other words.
Yeah. All right.
Jun's jaw clenches and he says, "What a pitiful throng." Deep down, he really wants to be down there.
Indeed. I don't know how anyone can waste time on these things.
So, is Jun Mikoto now going to waste time on these things? You gonna try and sneak in there? Yep. All right. Yeah. Why don't you implement a stratagem?
Oh, cool.
To sneak onto the site. There's still some locations like higher up in the construction site, where if you get to those first, then you get the same pet, but it's the shiny pet.
I need that.
Limited edition shiny pet. So cool.
So why don't you implement a stratagem, Jun, to sneak on site?
Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I skipped over it twice and finally found it. I roll with void. Oh, crap. If I remember correctly, I'm not voidy. Oh, crap. I'm a -2. This is not going to go well.
This is where experience comes from.
No, I want the pet. I don't want your stupid experience. Okay, here we go. I rolled an 8, which means got a 6.
Nice. Okay. So Mark, is there 2 experience.
Oh, I'm just wondering, is there any helping?
You could. Yeah,
because I'm wondering if by telling Z what exit not to take, I have inadvertently told them exactly what exit they want to take.
All right.
I love it. Inadvertent help is the best.
Yeah. Let's see some help. So, you, Lord Akechi, are going to roll your attachment to Jun Mikoto.
And I have 2 because
don't forget you're in love with me. Oh wait, that's just in my head.
I have 2, right? Because it says who's your superior +2 bond rather than +1 if they're a PC,
yes,
right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So let me roll some red dice. I rolled a 4, so that is a 6 as well.
Okay. That's cool. All right. So you both mark 2 experience each.
Getting that pet.
Yep. 2 experience each, and you also made an attachment move. So, each of you gets an additional experience. So you go straight to 3. Double experience for one-shots.
Nice.
Yeah. Great. So I think that Lord Akechi, how about you're tempted to actually walk Jun to the wrong place. And I think that you're both like walking over the sky bridge to the construction site when a couple of the gangers in ill-fitting security uniforms see you, and they will shout, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here!" And being trigger-happy gangers rather than elite trained security, they're immediately going to open fire.
Ouch.
Don't look so disappointed, Jun.
No.
Awesome.
So I think I'm going to, like, I have an armored, the 3-piece suit on, right? So it's like ballistic weave. It's not actually power armor. So I'm going to like step in front of Jun Makoto and turn my back to take the brunt of the fire.
Nice. All right. So
and maybe also like get on the radio to call my people.
Excellent. So we will see in a minute how that plays out. I think I want to cut back to
badly, I predict.
Yeah, I want to cut back to Yagyu Eiko for a second because I think you were about to implement your sneaky plan.
Yes. So basically, I have some sort of subvocal comm that I can talk to my people with. And I've been basically telling them that it's because I got some pointers from Jun Mikoto, and so we're prepared. And as soon as I saw Tsuki being led inside in such a public fashion, I go with the plan to implement, which is my people all sort of at the same time in different parts of the crowd say, "Look, she's getting special treatment. She's no better than we are," and
all right,
that kind of thing. And
why
does she get the shiny peacock and we're stuck with the regular ones?
Awesome, great. So I think you should implement a stratagem. So roll with Void and take a +1 from your successful reconnaissance.
Alrighty, Void is also flat for me. Cool. So reroll, and that is a fail.
Awesome, I love it.
That is a 6.
A 6, cool. So mark 2 experience. Ski, are you of a mind to get involved with this?
Well, they're all shouting at me. I can't just let them, get away with it. That can't happen. I still have one question left from my reconnoiter earlier. And so I think I want to ask, what is the most effective path to my goal, which is the shiny peacock? And I want to get to it unhindered, and whatever these people may think.
So the quickest way to the shiny peacock, so it's up on one of the higher levels of the construction site.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever put these things here clearly did not observe OSHA regulations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like way up on top of like some girders or something like that. The fastest way to get there would probably be to like parkour up there. But there are also ladders and lifts, which could get you there slightly slower than someone risking life and limb.
Well, I want to go about it officially. I want them to let me in. I'm not like trying.
Okay.
I'm not trying to steal it just yet. Like it may happen. So as I'm being led through, I'm going to turn around, and they're all saying, "She's no better than us." And Tsuki goes, "Actually, I am," and then just turns around and keeps walking.
Okay, great. So,
that might also count as help for my role. No, don't worry about it.
Do you want that? I will totally let you roll your attachment to aid that, Ski.
Let's do it. If anything, I would imagine that Tsuki has picked up this kind of like arrogant demeanor because she looks up to Eiko, because she like talks to her for advice, you know. So I'm gonna roll to aid Eiko's action.
Yes.
What do I roll?
So you roll your attachment to Eiko, which is
+1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 5.
Awesome. So, a couple of things happen. So you mark 2 experience.
Okay.
And then each of you and Eiko marks an additional experience, because when you're involved in an attachment role, or actually no, I think so. You would mark 2 experience, and then Eiko would also mark 2 experience.
Okay, sweet.
Because when there's an attachment roll involving 2 players, the attachment roll triggers an additional experience payout.
Got it.
And it goes to whoever has fewer total experience at that time.
Perfect.
For the other one, it was divided between them.
So this didn't help Eiko, which is actually in my benefit, which I like. It's kind of complicated.
Yeah. So I think the result of that is that the riot starts, but not in a particularly productive way.
Oh shit. Okay. It makes things worse for Eiko. It still happens, but not as well as it could have.
I hate these non-productive riots.
Yes. Right. So I guess the segment of the crowd that you're in en masse shouts like, "Charge the fence!"
Oh shit. Ah!
It's at a moment when like one of the security guys is like checking his phone, and then like as if like possessed by a single mind, that whole like giant crowd that you're in charges forward and bowls over the security line and starts charging straight for you and the security chief.
No.
And he's like, shit, oh shit, run! And like grabs your wrist, like as if that helps you run.
He must be like, oh well, she's wearing long blonde hair. Maybe she's playing a distressed damsel or something. Not that I am.
Right.
So he like definitely run.
Yeah. So he's and she bolts for the walker.
Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that. Yeah. I'm going for it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Yagyu Eiko, you're getting swept up in like a giant stampeding riot. And unless you do something, you will be stepped on by many heavy people. What do you do?
I would like to not be stepped on.
Great. How do you make that happen?
I think, well, looking at my stuff, what I'm going to do actually is I will. Oh man, this is such a bad idea. I would like
already
to
into it.
I would like to draw my pistol and shoot into the air.
Oh shit. That's great. Oh man. Okay. So I think you're gonna endure with Earth, because you're relying on your stuff to help you out.
Sorry, I muted myself for no good reason. So this is +2 for me.
Nice.
And it's a fail. That's a 4.
Wow. Okay. 2 experience.
I just rolled over, by the way.
Great. All right. So you advance. Okay, that's awesome. So you get stepped on many times, and not only that, but in the chaos, your pistol, before you can even pull the trigger, goes flying into the crowd, and thankfully doesn't go off. But you're getting like stomped on by many people and like stampeded. So you're going to increase your self rating by 1.
Ouch.
Yes.
All right.
So that was a thing that happened. Fortunately, I think your gang are likely to see that this is happening, and will probably start moving to protect you. But meanwhile, let's move to the scene of chaos on the other side of the. On the other side, we've got Lord Akechi jumping in the way of the bullets headed for Jun Mikoto. So I think you're also enduring using your equipment by using the tailored armor to protect you.
Okay. So I have Earth plus 1.
Yes,
So
I think you are. Yes, I'm going to give you disadvantage on this because it is tailored armor against a serious weapon. So you're going to be rolling 3 6-sided dice and taking the lowest 2.
Okay, let me.
So I want you all to level up.
A 3, and a 4, so that's a 6 plus 1 is 7.
Nice.
Barely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you persevere or evade. And please choose one from the list of options up at the top of page 8.
I know this gives you more work to do, but I like the last one. This presents me with a new predicament or ugly choice.
Oh, great. Okay, great. So, you're shrugging off these bullets, and you'll have some serious bruises, but you're actually not. You're actually not dying, and neither is Jun Mikoto. And at the same time, when you call your crew for backup, you can hear that they're saying there's a riot on the first level, and they've called for backup. They need us to help contain it. But should we go there or should we help you?
I tell them to complete the mission. I'll handle it from here.
Oh, nice. All right. I love it.
Mission? What mission is going on?
So I guess as I don't know, am I carrying? Presumably, I have a briefcase with the MP5 in it, right? That's where MP5s belong, right?
Yes, exactly. They come packed in those.
Yeah. So as I kind of flip the switch that takes that out, I'll say to Jun Mikoto, the riot outside, I'm here to protect you. And I'm going to open fire on these 2 idiots down the corridor from us.
Excellent. Jun Mikoto, what are you doing?
Well, I kind of want my armor. I kind of want to move closer to check in. I think I'm going to move closer to check in. So yeah, I'm heading in. I grab my smart device and I'll let him give me cover as I move in. My armor's closer this way, I say as I head.
Excellent.
So we're on this corridor, and these two guys are shooting down at us, and I'm shooting back, and you're kind of trying to angle your way out of the fire to get into, distance to pick up the kid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like Z is like tumbling forward and trying to dive behind a side passage or something and continue to like serpentines their way up.
All right.
Just searching for the Wi-Fi.
Yes, yes, exactly that.
Yeah. So let's find out how difficult that turns out to be. Lord Akechi, I would like you to roll single combat.
Okay, what is that under?
Yeah.
Roll with water. I am only bad at water. I've got -1.
Oh.
Single combat is for chumps, obviously.
Yeah.
Your mouth.
Okay, that is a sterling total of 2.
Oh,
Nice. Everyone's gonna level up. Okay. So you get 2 experience. And so the way single combat works in this game is that if you succeed on it, you get to choose a number of options. You get 3 choices from the list of badass things. If you roll 10 plus, 2 if you roll a 7 to 9, and 0 if you fail. But they still get to choose their options. So there are 2 of them, although each of them is really nothing to write home about. So they're going to get 1 choice each on the single combat list. So, all right, that's page 9. Okay. So their choices are, they're going to choose press the attack, and they're going to try and wound you. And then they're also going to choose, let's see. They're going to choose break your structure, I think. They draw. I guess they have pistols and start firing back at you. And they're firing from 2 angles, so it's hard to concentrate fire on them. They're like behind 2 different, chest high walls. So they shoot back at you, and they're going to knock something important out of your hands. So it goes like tumbling down to the next level or something like that. You'd have to like rush and scramble to get it. So that's going to be either your communications device or your MP5. Which is it?
I think I'm dropping the phone because I've already told my people that I don't need them. So that's obviously a great thing to double down on when I'm not handling the fight well, right?
Excellent. And then you also get tagged. I think they hit you in the leg or the hip or something like that, and your armor diffuses some of the impact of the blow, but it still like knocks the wind out of you and kind of knocks you flat. So you're going to increase yourself by 1. And that means that Jun now has to maneuver through this corridor of fire without any real cover fire.
Okay.
So I think you're going to be enduring with water to get through this.
All right. I will endure with water if your strength, dexterity, constitution, or physical training save you. And my water rating is a +1. So let me roll.
Nice.
I've rolled a 5 + 1 is a 6. So that
okay.
would be a fail.
All right. Wow, this roll for your party is really working out for you guys.
I didn't roll the green ones. Earlier today, the people were rolling green dice were rolling like 11s and 12s.
Wow.
You need
Okay.
to roll the green ones.
You
Okay,
had an experience like this last year, didn't you, Rich? Where you couldn't roll higher than a.
That was a technical glitch.
Sure.
No, seriously, it turned out after Gauntlet, like it was discovered during second day of Gauntlet Con, that the pip dice were only rolling 1s, 2s, and 3s max. I rolled like a
Oh.
Wow.
yeah. This one's just me being terrible luck, is all.
Okay, so where actually is your power armor?
I think that Z would not be far from it. So it's in the flying car that Z arrived in.
Okay, cool. Great. So you're running past these two guards, and then suddenly you realize that one of you get pinned down behind a box or something like that.
Okay.
And you're not able to make it across the whole way, and you see one of them fall back, and then suddenly, to your shock and horror, you see your power armor stomp around the corner.
Oh no.
Yeah. And you see, but the helmet isn't on, like it hasn't been like popped up yet. And, but it's like sort of staggering around, inexpertly. And you can see the head of someone, who's managed to, like somehow get it working, just sort of staggering around and like firing off weapons in random directions. And you see he's like, no, it's okay. I can get it working. I can hack it. All right. Well, what about this? No, falls over. Like starts pulling himself back up. So
they're gonna die.
Yeah. Meanwhile, down on the ground. So there's this riot starting. The gangers are attempting to contain it in vain, and it's rushing towards you. You see the security chief run over to the walker and jump in, and he's like, "Well, I was hoping we wouldn't have to use this. Ma'am, you should probably get in here for your own safety."
Yes, I'll climb up in after him. And before he can grab it, I want to sit in the main controls.
That's great.
She's just gonna be like, "Sorry, mister, but we've got more important things to do than contain riots." And I want to start directing this over to that upper level where the shiny peacock was. You mentioned that there wasn't really a canopy on the walker, so I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
If I walk it over there, I could just climb out and be on the same level.
Yes, that would definitely shorten the trip to get there.
Yes.
All right. So all we've really got to do is wrestle this guy out of the cockpit. So that's just a little light single combat there. And I'll give you advantage because I think he's completely unprepared for the fact that you're going to throw him out of the walker.
Pretty much. I mean, like, thank you for showing me this thing. I'm rolling with water.
Yes.
Oh, that's not good. That's a -2. That's my worst one.
Unless you have any special moves that modify that.
No.
No.
No. This is not my home field, so I don't have an advantage.
Yeah, but you do take wait. You do take +2 forward because you're acting on your
the reconnoiter.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'll negate that -2. Roll with advantage. Oh, that's still just a 5.
This is awesome. Oh, I love this game.
Damn it! I need that peacock.
Okay, so cool. So Mark II experience.
Got it.
That's should be close to leveling up by now. Yeah.
So she starts struggling with him. Actually, I need this.
Yeah. So you find yourself in this awkward wrestling match with this guy. I think each of you has one hand on the controls, and you're kind of jerking them back and forth. So it's sort of a like it looks. I think that the camera cuts straight from the guy staggering around in Jun's power armor to you kind of doing the same thing in the walker.
Mm-hmm.
So it like swings over and starts like stomping through the crowd, and people are like screaming and pushing to get away from it. Just as I think at this point, Yagyu Eiko's crew is going to come into play.
Cool.
And they're gonna be shouting at you over the sub vocal like, they're like, Sarge, we've lost sight of you. Where are you, in the middle of the riot?
Yes. And I'm like struggling to stand up and then keep getting knocked down again.
Okay. All right, we're coming to your rescue.
Okay. And pretty soon, if they don't get here soon, the telescoping ball is going to come out and I'm going to start kicking some ass, just in random general.
Okay. Yeah, I think that let's do this as a little an order the troops.
All right. Let me get there.
Yeah. So since you are getting, yeah. So because they are not right on top of you, I think you will have to roll with fire to do this.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes.
So, yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. -2.
Yeah.
And yes, they did re-roll, and the end result is a 0.
Wow.
Whoa.
I rolled snake eyes again.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm at -2.
Okay, cool.
Jesus.
So all right, so your crew is they're rushing to help you. When suddenly you hear they're saying like, we're taking fire. I think we've been flanked. It's the corporate security from the Akechi building. Everyone take cover.
Okay, this is the point at which I engaged the move that I just picked up.
Good call.
And I'm going to exercise the better part of valor.
Right.
I will roll again, and this will be +2 because it's water. Not that it will do me any damn good. Jeez.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's a 6. It's a 6.
Oh wow.
So close.
Well, that's 4 experience between those two. That you might level up again at this point.
Is there any chance that I could throw some help to my little vassal?
Sure. Yeah. How do you help?
So I don't think that Z would have no weapons. Just so perhaps the flechette smart gun, just fire off a few shots to. I pretend that I'm going after my own armor, but I'll fire a couple shots at people that are intervening to hurt Yagyu.
Yeah, you can definitely see from here. So yeah, if you fire into the crowd, it'll probably be a little bit helpful. So yeah, roll your attachment with Yagyu Eiko.
I like that. We may not like necessarily know that we're all here in this scene, but our actions are still affecting what happens for everyone else.
It's kind of fun.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm rolling plus my bonds or connections, right? Okay,
Plus
cool.
bond.
Rolled a 7 + 1, 8.
Great. So a couple of things happen. First of all, you increase your attachment to Yagyu Eiko by 1.
Ooh, sexy.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, the
you rolled
pretty
a
girl. I had
17
to save the
on
pretty
attachment
girl.
move.
That makes sense.
Yes. And second, Yagyu Eiko gets to re-roll that move.
Oh, it's a reroll, not a plus up. Okay, cool. Hang on.
Yeah, so exactly the same roll, same bonuses and everything.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here we go.
That is a very stressful help. I just want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Oh,
Oh my god.
snake eyes again.
Oh. This is the best game of Thousand Arrows, let me tell you. Oh, I love it. Okay. So, all right, so Yagyu Eiko, so you've marked 4 experience between those 2 failures. And in addition, which of you and Jun Mikoto has fewer total experience at this point? I think it's Jun Mikoto, right?
Almost certainly, because I just rolled over again. I had 1 left over, so I'm at
great.
5.
Okay. So yeah, so at 5, you're reset to 0. Cool. So Jun Mikoto, that means that you get the 2 experience from the attachment move.
oh, okay, I'll take it. That means I get a thing.
Nice.
Oh, Chris had to rejoin.
Yeah, sorry.
We have twice the Chris right now. Double Chris.
Double Chris. Yeah.
My
and
Chrome froze. Sorry.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, you need your Chrome working in a cyberpunk game.
Mm-hmm. And it
Yeah.
needs to be shiny too.
Yes. All right. So for those of you who are picking new moves, which apparently is all of you, I'm just going to post some places that you can look to get them over on the right. So here are the roll sheets, and then the allegiance sheets. Over here. Okay. So, yeah, so I think that you're, so the escape plan doesn't go so well.
Sadly, no.
Really putting the tragedy in Samurai Tragedy, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Better part of valor. Want to miss, you're caught half in and half out, or else they're on your tail, riding you down. So, yeah, I think what happens is the conflict between the corporate security and your gang starts to expand, and their lines are expanding towards you. And let's see, I think that you wind up you're still on the ground, but and like the fallen bodies of the trampled and shot are forming like these sort of makeshift ramparts around you. You know, there's people like falling on you. It's a bloodbath. And you can tell from your crew shouts that you're caught like in the crossfire between your gang and the corporate security deployed by Lord Akechi.
That is unfortunate, but sort of what I expect when I wake up in the morning.
Yes.
So what I'm going to try to do is, while staying down, staying low, I'm going to try to crawl through the bodies and get to my people.
Excellent. So we'll see in a moment how that goes.
And also making a mental note to have words with Lord Akechi.
Yes. Speaking of whom,
you could call me, but I seem to have misplaced my phone.
I like the idea. Like we see the phone like just sitting on like a random I-beam somewhere, and just going off, and meanwhile you're there. You know. So
I picked up I picked up the new move, which is the one which would have been useful a moment ago, which is called
"You shall not pass."
You shall not pass. So, is Jun Makoto in danger from these two guys, or are they mostly still shooting at me?
So you've seen that one of them has fallen back and managed to seize control of their power armor. And the other one is advancing on you and Zem with just a pistol. So just firing like little 3-round bursts and has like some light body armor, but is starting to advance towards you, is going to try and get around your cover and shoot one of you.
So maybe what I'm going to do is, as they approach our cover, I'm going to step out, and out comes the ass baton and just like crack the gang member, the security force guy over the wrist to try to disarm him, so that he can't get a clean shot on Zer. Okay,
cool. So you're going to roll You Shall Not Pass?
Yeah, I think that is what I'm looking for.
All right.
So let me take another look at that. It's Bond for PCs. Okay, that's cool. So that's +2. Oh, that is a 9, so that's an 11.
Oh, wow.
I don't need your sticking XP.
That's where all that luck went. Okay. Cool. So you redirect the threat to you, and also you may choose one, as it is a 10+.
Oh, does this make sense to you, Rich? I expose the attacker to a counter-strike, maybe from you?
I would love a counter-strike opportunity.
Great.
Cool. Let's
and
go with
which of Akechi and Jun has fewer experience right now? Because that was an attachment move.
I am on...
I have 0 right now because I just bought a move.
I mean, count it with the moves. So fewer total XP.
Oh, I have 5 total XP.
Yeah, okay. I have 5 total XP as well.
All right, so you each get 1 then.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
I take the fire still, right? That's how it moves. How that move works.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think that so it's so the attack is redirected to you. From this angle, you're definitely able to absorb it with your tailored armor. And to beat on them with the baton. So they hold on to the weapon, but just barely. And they have to like switch it to the other hand to keep firing, and so that gives Jun an opportunity. So Jun, you may now roll single combat at advantage.
That sounds super fun. So I'm going for the person who had the gun, not the person in my armor, correct?
It's up to you.
Oh, well, I just bought Cookie Spirit Style, which is a spirit style of martial arts that allows me to fight other heavily armored opponents. So I really want to use that. It's really just for color, but I want to point that out.
All right, definitely.
And let me see. What do I roll with these?
Water.
water. I happen to be watery, I think. Plus one. I will take it. And I roll with advantage, correct?
Yes.
All right, cool. Let me do that thing. And that's rolling with 3 dice, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. That's how it is in other games, so I don't want to assume too much. Here we go. 3d6, picking the best 2. And I rolled a 1, 2, and 3.
How
so that would be a 6.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm sorry, I'm going to test something.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a bunch of 6s in there. It's possible for me to roll that. All right.
I was just thinking, like, I don't know.
Yep. Just bad luck.
Yeah. I wonder if is there anyone who can help you? So I think that Lord Akechi has already done the help thing. The only person who has a chance of helping is actually that would actually be Shimazutsuki. You're up there on your I'm
in the walker. My walker. We're still kind of fighting over control, but like if the guns shot off in like the wrong direction, or in this case it would be the right direction.
Okay.
Will that be a way I could aid?
Yeah, I think it would.
Okay. Something about our like interpersonal connection, even though we don't know each other in real life.
Bound together by fate.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm rolling an attachment then.
Yes.
+1. Ooh, that's a 10.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great. So that means you do not increase your attachment, but you do grant Jun a reroll.
Perfect. Oh, so these like laser blasts from the walker just like kind of shoot in that area and cause a little chaos.
Yeah, the guard with the pistol was about to fire right into your face, but then there's the particle blasts score the thing nearby, and like a pile of 2x4s falls towards him, and he has to jump out of the way instead of shooting you.
Oh man, like in Jun's head, he's remembering this moment where their lover in the game had fired some arrows and knocked off some thatch from a roof and saves her life, and it's just their heart flutters.
So
oh my god, totally.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tsuki's just like, give me the walker.
So I get a reroll, correct?
Yes. You can still mess this up.
No, it's still happening. Laws of probability have come through for me. I have rolled boxcars.
Finally.
+1, so that is pretty massive.
Nice.
All I needed was a help from some of my friends.
Right.
So yeah.
You're going to choose 3. And I am going to choose 1, and we will see how that works out. Let me reveal at the same time.
Oh, that's pretty wicked. Should I just type it in chat?
Yeah, sure. I think let me choose mine. There's my player's guide. Let's see. Okay, yeah. All right, I got my choice. Okay. And reveal.
Hey, I have to say a thing with a thing, I think. So wait.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
And go.
All right, cool. So I did press the attack, show off your skill, and keep guard up versus press the attack.
Okay, excellent.
Does that work right? Like, did I?
Yeah, that's perfect. So
it's very bright wheel, and it makes me excited.
Thank you. So yes, so your keep your guard up negates their press the attack. So his shot goes wide, and you take him out.
Sweet.
In a deeply impressive way. And I think that it's going to be. I think specifically, this is the moment when when Shimazutsuki looks over and sees you.
Like through the windows?
Yeah, through the window, through the wall.
Ah, sorry.
So please describe this moment of heroism.
Oh yeah. So you saved their life. Zor tumbles forward with the opportunity, leaps up, and climbs onto the chest of the armor. Still no head exposed. No, the headpiece isn't there. Presses the flechette pistol to their temple and just fires the plastic that shoots through. It throws a bunch of blood on the back of the helmet, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, the impressed dismay is like touches a part that opens the clamshell, and so the body starts to fall out, and Z just kind of crawls up on top of the shoulders of it and tries to slide into the armor behind the body that's falling.
All right. Great. And you straighten up.
I'm impressed.
Awesome.
And I think
Excellent.
Z looks up and locks eyes with the person who helped them.
Nice.
So
All
he's
right,
just
that's
like,
beautiful.
Who's that?
Whoever they are, they look hot.
They look pretty cool.
All right.
That was
Yeah.
that was epic.
All right. So it is just turning 5 on the East Coast. So I think let's take like a little quick 5-10 minute break.
Sounds
You know,
good.
refresh your tea, hit the bathroom.
Sure, sounds good.
All right. We'll see how this plays out.
A quick question on the single combat options.
Yes.
In Hangouts, it works pretty well for the keeping them a secret and revealing them together. How do you do it at the table?
I usually do either just honor system, or you write them on index cards and then you flip them.
Okay, cool.
This has been immensely fun.
Thank you. You've all been very good sports, given the betrayal of the dice.
I don't think I can recall ever rolling so consistently badly for over so many rolls.
This is a
now I know what Rich. Yeah, now I know what Rich feels like.
I do tend to roll terribly.
Was that 3 snake eyes and 4 rolls, Paul, or something?
Yeah,
it was
like that?
3 snake eyes, three snake eyes, and a 5 in 4 rolls.
Yeah.
That is crazy times.
Yes.
That's one of those when the old do you fudge your die rolls conversation almost like, oh, maybe I should.
Yeah. But
I may start just keeping a pair of D6s in my pocket. Just in case.
yes.
I do have dice near me.
My favorite failure I ever adjudicated was in I was running a Dungeon World game at PAX East, and this guy playing the dwarf fighter, they're trying to get the sheriff of some little town to get his shit together and fight back against some orcs or something. And the dwarf fighter, he got him a beer because the guy was like drunk in a tavern. He got him a beer and then sat down with him and gave him this beautiful in-character speech to get the sheriff to, rise up and do his job. And beautiful in-character speech, totally convincing, and then rolled something unsalvageable. And I was like, the table was like mortified, and I was like, no, I can do this. And finally I was like, sheriff looks up at you, takes the silver star off his chest, and pins it to yours. And after that, I was like, the table exploded, and I felt great. He felt so, yeah. So that was my favorite Apocalypse World failure of all time. So speaking of failure, Yagyu-Eiko. Oh yes. So Yagyu-Eiko, you're there on the ground. There's bullets and screams. Blood is everywhere. Your clothes are soaked with the blood of people you've never met before and will never meet. And then suddenly there's a moment of silence and the trump of heavy feet. And you look up for a moment, and you realize that coming down the street towards you, there's this big, broad avenue leading towards the construction site, which is probably the way that most people came this way. You look over and you see a line of, a couple of blocks away now, a line of knights wearing, full body armor. They're not mounted. They're on the ground. But yeah, full body armor with swords, and I guess they must have shotguns, probably, walking towards you, and they all have the livery of the Kanishi clan. And you look around, and the scrap between the corporate security and your team has momentarily stopped, and both sides seem to be scrambling for cover. And so in that moment, you can rejoin your side. But the situation has now So the regular security team couldn't handle it. The backup security team came and somehow made it worse. So now the unthinkable for the Kenichi clan has happened, and they have to actually commit their own forces to solving the problem. And
I feel so sad for them.
yes. But in that moment, you're able to get back to regroup with your gang.
This is good.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Has there been significant property damage by this point?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
So even though I failed so much on a personal level, at least the mission is at least a partial success. So that's what I'm telling myself in this moment.
It is definitely that part of the mission is definitely proceeding apace.
Good. See, it was a good plan.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm back with my peeps. We are, in fact, going to take cover. It is not necessarily my intention to attempt to engage any further.
All right.
But for the moment, I imagine we're kind of pinned down. So.
All right. Great. So you and yours take cover. Why don't you order the troops? But this time you're with them, so you're ordering with water.
Okay. I'm sure that'll help. Well, my goodness, that's an 11.
Nice. Okay, so describe where you and your foot soldiers take cover.
I imagine there's an equipment shed of some sort, and we're on the other side of that equipment shed with two people peeking out from either corner.
Excellent.
And okay, so none of those choices are for you on a 7 to 9, right? Yep.
Yeah, those are all bad things, and none of them happen to you.
Yay.
Yes.
So we're at least somewhat secure now.
Yes. So on the other side, Lord Akechi, your what kind of troops did you have?
I guess these kind of SWAT-like security retainers, right? The concept,
right. Yeah. Okay. So they've been, of course, radioing you to try to get through to you, but having heard no answer, they have fallen back to their training.
Yeah. Can I'm on a walkway overlooking this whole mess. So can I go back to the Mark I yelling battlefield control and command?
Yeah, sure. That'll work. Great. So I think you can give them orders with fire.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you a disadvantage, unfortunately, because it's hard to hear you.
Sure.
Easy to confuse.
Okay, that is I rolled a 5. Did you say fire?
Yes, because you're not in there with them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because that makes it a 7.
Great. All right. So your troops execute your orders to the best of their ability. And what are your orders?
I think we are. I think we're going with discretion as a better part of valor, and basically pulling back out of the riot to protect our property, and mostly to get out of the way of these riled up Kenichi samurai.
Excellent. So where do you take cover?
I think they're like on the, maybe there's like a plaza that's kind of technically a catchy property, but is sometimes used by the public. And
like the area in front of the office building. It's got
exactly.
like mountains.
People, have their lunch there and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of defensible, but we're using that as a perimeter. And maybe it's just awkward for the rioters and they're not pointed in this direction, but that's our fallback position.
Great. I like it. So yeah,
Pot
so
of
you're
plants,
yeah, there's a piece of like, sorry, train. There's some kind of like ugly modern sculpture there that everyone hates. No one knows who commissioned it, but it's good cover.
I mean, it wasn't me, it was my father, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So they've all managed to find good cover, and the Kanishi clan troops step forward, and they're I guess the captain of this crew leads her front line in, and they're walking along. They're sweeping the area with their weapons, but they haven't seen either of these teams. You're well concealed, so they're not gonna react to you unless you react to them. But I want to see how everything's going on that walker now.
Because if there's anything that's like obvious to these Kanishi Knights, it might be the out of control walker
staggering around.
Yeah, and actually, if Tsuki's noticed that they've arrived, that's a major problem because they're not going to let her just walk away with company property, i.e., like just now at this point, she just wants to grab a stack of these. I'm assuming they're like codes, essentially promo codes for the shiny peacocks. A stack of them, so she can give one to each of her followers, and then they can sell the rest online.
Right. Well, in order to make that work, you're gonna have to get rid of the guy who's still in the walker.
I'm gonna have to get rid of him. So at this point, like we're fighting, and I'm just gonna like straight up like, God, what are they even paying you? I'm sure I could give you enough to just run away or something, right?
I like that. Great. So you're gonna try and bribe him, and you are acting here on one of your questions. So
they're short staffed.
+1.
Yeah, like these people are not in a. What am I rolling with?
I think you're indulging your attachment to loyalty.
Yes.
Specifically saying that loyalty to you is valuable more than whatever kind of loyalty he had before.
Exactly.
So you're rolling with a +1, +2 under the circumstances.
Okay. So I'll just +2. Got it.
Nice.
Yes. Okay.
Nice.
That is a 11.
An 11.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So that's an attachment move. So you rolled it, mark 2 experience.
Leveled up.
Even though you succeed. Great. And then this guy who's in there with you, just like he sits, thinks for a moment. He's like, carry the 2. All right. What are you paying?
An acceptable amount of new yen that will like appease you. I'm not sure.
All right. So if you'll straight up transfer the money to him now.
Yeah, I can easily do that. Just swipe my cred stick over his or something.
He's like, all right, well, pleased to meet you.
Get out of here! I don't even
business relationship.
Slow down the walker for him to jump out.
Yeah, he hops out and like hustles down into cover somewhere.
All right. And as soon as I have control, I'm like making a beeline for that upper level where the shiny peacocks are. And I think I am gonna like radio my followers I think for my level up, I can add 2 tags to my section.
Yes.
So can I give them all their own unicorn chargers?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to do that, as well as I'll think about what the second tag is going to be, but I'm going to radio for them to. I'm grabbing the goods, and I'm going to need an escape.
Cool. All right, so we'll give them the cavalry tag.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
All right. So I think you should describe their arrival on the scene.
So it's My Little Pony Wet Dream as they all charge in on their various winged horses or unicorns of every imaginable like shade and color and pattern and like horn material and like types of wings. You've got like your bat wings, your angel wings, your demon wings, just all the bone wings. It's one for every flavor. And they're gonna probably charge into the like right in front of that plaza where the Kanishi Knights were like moving into, or was that where?
So the Kanishi are moving down the main drag. There's the equipment shed, the tool shed on one side where the Yagyu forces are holed up, and then on the other side is the corporate plaza where the Akechi forces are holed up.
So
right, straight down the
probably
middle.
like come in from behind the soldiers. Then they're kind of my arquebusiers are moving in, so the soldiers at that point would be almost surrounded.
Okay,
maybe.
So that's great. So I think that the tags we should give your crew are going to be air and cavalry.
Air,
right? Because they have wings.
Oh, duh! Oh my god, I didn't even think about. I thought there was going to be aesthetic, but that's perfect.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love it.
Okay, so winged cyber Pegasus chargers come in, and then these samurai are not super used to getting flanked from above, so there's the like the shadow falls over them, and like it starts playing Ride of the Valkyries, but then like the Nyan Cat song comes in and cuts it off. And,
yes,
that is perfect.
Yeah. And the Kanishi troops are like firing their shotguns wildly into the air, trying to. So you should order the troops. So you're using fire because you're not right up in their business. But that's better than water for you. And you're rolling with advantage.
Good. I'm gonna need it.
Yes.
Because fire is, you're right. It is better than water, but it's still not great. Okay. Rolling with advantage. Very nice. That is an 8.
Excellent. Great. So your troops are able to sweep in.
And as soon as I hear them, as soon as I hear that like familiar Nyan Cat song, I'm like crawling out of the top of the walker, like getting to the getting as close as I can to the shiny peacocks.
Great. All right, so they are able to escort you right up to the shiny peacock, but your attack does grant the enemy an opportunity, I think.
Okay.
Which is that you hear someone, you hear the captain of the Kanishi forces as they scatter and run around to avoid your troops' fire. One of them's like, "It's time to test out the new equipment."
Oh no!
And you see that on they have jetpacks on their armor, and they start like rocketing up into the air. Some of them more gracefully than others. Some of them are like, "Yes, we're gonna get you," and others like, "We should have practiced with these things."
My forces are just a little bit more well trained in the air.
Yes. But yeah, they're totally not paying attention to any possibility of the Yagyu or the Akechi coming up on them.
Perfect.
I would very much like to fold my tents and slink away.
Okay.
If there's a distraction, we are getting the FO.
Yes. I will point out that right now the construction equipment is completely unguarded.
Oh, damn. You're right.
There's
Can
like
I
a
ask you-
handful of security guys like hiding near the like nitroglycerin in the middle.
Does Jun Makoto have a deep stratagem that only now Zera's gonna reveal to us?
Let me see if I have a move for that, because Rich doesn't think that way. Let's see. I have pledged to a faction, passing social skills as careless grace, and cookie spear style. Yeah, it looks like no, probably.
Yeah. If you want to switch something you have out for something that you think is more applicable to the situation.
I really have fun with cookie spirit style, so I'm not swapping that out. Let's see.
But if you don't want to use red right hand, for example, you could grab something else.
Or could this be something that was on slide 59 of my presentation? the hidden takeover of the Kanishi project?
That would be hilarious. When you pledge allegiance to a political faction or powerful leader outside of Clan Cookie engaged in protracted conflict with opposition of similar strength, write a bond with them. With their impact. Yeah, that doesn't seem to apply. Sorry. Yeah, I don't see any specific moves to the social engineer that would benefit here. I could be wrong. I just don't.
That's fair.
I mean, I could offer somebody terms and roll with Earth.
Have some war galleys.
That's true. That could be fun.
Or, I could throw a grenade at the nitroglycerin.
I prefer that. I want to work through my subservience there. So my secret vassal clan. Let's have you do your cool thing without me interjecting. I'll just enjoy the fruits of your labor. Thank you.
You do see someone climbing towards the shiny peacock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! I really wanted the Kirin, but the shiny peacock goes like gangbusters in the market. I'm in armor. I'm gonna beat them.
So you're gonna rush up there?
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend that I'm heading towards doing something else, but I'm really after that. So.
Okay, great. Because I think you definitely need to meet in person.
I want this scene.
Yes, I do too.
So I think you should arrive at the shiny peacock simultaneously.
That's what I've been thinking for like the last hour and a half.
I've been trying to set this up.
Like maybe our hands are like an inch away, and we look up.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's totally it. And Jun has the armor on, so he feels a lot more powerful. You hear in their voice, I know you.
I think I would know you, and as soon as you hear her voice, like it would be instantly, like you would like see the overlay of her male character on Thousand Arrows.
Oh wow, yeah, that's the helmet comes like pops back, and and with the big metallic fingers reaches out to cup your cheek. Well, we have like stuff for that. It sounds fine. It's quiet.
Yeah, of course.
WD-40.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But
all right.
I'm sure that after a moment, like it would occur to Tsuki, like, oh, I do know you. And then she kind of like moves out of the hand, cupping her face, and she's like, do you want one of these?
Of course.
Can this be the moment when shit blows up, please?
Yes.
All right. Yagyu Eiko.
Their love backlit by the
Yes.
explosion of petrol.
I love it.
All right. So the Yagyu and Akechi forces are both the Kanishi clan's attention is off of you, and you may easily sneak towards the expensive equipment.
Great. I was if there's clearly labeled an explosive shed, then that's what
yeah,
I will.
it's of course right in the middle of the construction site in accord with security regulations.
Oh, well then I'll just blow up some of the larger pieces of construction equipment.
Okay.
I don't need to blow up everything.
All right. Are you going to get personally involved in this process?
Oh, I am so personally involved in this process.
Great.
And
So,
you know, I imagine at this point her like her clothes are ripped. She's limping. She's probably got an obvious black eye, and there's other people's
leaning on
blood.
the staff.
Yeah, and there's other people's blood on her face, you know, that kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She's like Mel Gibson at the end of every Lethal Weapon movie.
Okay. So you're gonna order the troops with water.
Yes.
And you have advantage because you, at this point, thoroughly outnumber the security team.
Okie doke. 22. I say I submit. That is a 12.
All right. So, describe what happens.
So my people scatter around, and you know, since sabotage is kind of a thing that we do, we are prepared and we have charges to set. And so as this delightful moment is taking place over a promo code for a shiny peacock.
Yes.
You don't understand.
In coordination, you know, I set my charge and then we retreat to a safe distance, and I'm the one that that sends the signal to detonate all the charges. So it kind of, like maybe there's one that doesn't get the signal, or that the actuator is a little bit slow or something. So like there's one huge boom, and then you think, oh, that was it. And then like 2 seconds later, there's another smaller explosion, just to, you know, make it more dramatic.
Ooh. As soon as I hear an explosion, Suki like lifts up her fingers and whistles. But she's got some sort of implant in the fingers that when it triggers on her charger, Blossom, who like begins flying over. And she's gonna grab June's metallic hand and look at Zem and say, "Come with me.
Come with me. Come with me if you want to live."
Flip is good. No. I'm taking over the MMO for us. We have to do this. That's my plan.
She doesn't even know how to like the idea that taking over the MMO is even a possibility, just completely blowing her mind. And she's just like, the mission, I don't understand, but I trust you. So nice. She then proceeds to grab all the shinies, put them in a bag, and jump on her charger.
Sweet.
All right. Great.
And then maybe as she flies away, she'll like turn and like blow a kiss or something.
Nice.
DM me.
I mean, I'll see you later. Like
I'll friend you. I'll send you a friend request.
It will, now that we know, because I'm assuming we all kind of knew of each other's plans and positions and whatnot. Maybe we didn't know each other, but we did. We didn't know each other individually. I do know the other two players. Anyway, so yeah, like we'll definitely talk, and we'll have a lot more to talk about when we see each other again.
Yes. So in order to affect your plan, Jun and Akechi, because you're part of this too. This takeover as Jun's follower, right? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and I guess I have a lot of the server infrastructure in place. Maybe
yes.
copious backups and mirror images have been taken of all of the necessary.
Yes. So only one thing is left to do, which is you have to take out the Kanishi forces.
Well, I was happy enough with them being legally responsible for all of the damage now that they were on site, or
yes.
security clause had been cleared. But hey, if the boss wants us to wipe them out, all of them, I'm happy to execute.
Yes.
Okay, so am I unveiling a stratagem?
Yeah, so, well, it's up to you. You could directly attack, or you could set something up.
Well, I think they have, with this whole farcical walker thing, they've been sucked in, and now that the explosion has drawn their attention to their own facility, we're right behind them in perfect ambuscade position. So I think, does this count as a stratagem, which of course we have planned all along?
Yeah, sure, you can set that up.
Okay.
So yeah, if this is the stratagem, then you're not doing direct damage. You're going to try and maneuver them into a bad position so that someone else can hit them hard.
Well, of course, the gang has only done moderate damage. If we push them into their facility, they might be in a position right next to the great big hut of explosives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That would be terrible.
All right.
So I guess I am, when I get a better position with deception, stealth, or misdirection, roll with void. I think I am good at that. Yes, void +2. So let me roll. I think I lost those dice. Let me try again. Yeah, so that is an 8 +2 is a 10.
Nice.
Excellent. So yeah, so describe what happens to us.
So yeah, these Kanishi knights who are, treating the rioters and the gang members and the security with disdain, maybe not even drawing their proper weapons, using their swords as their honor dictates, and they just plow a wedge straight through these people, and then we just pop up out of our positions, and we are using, all of the modern weaponry, which we are like. So it's the Oda shoot down these charging Takeda cavalrymen kind of thing,
exactly.
Right? And we are forcing them, into the building site until maybe they have no choice but to surrender or to fight to the last. I'm not sure which is.
They're hemmed in. They're in a bad position, but they look set to fight to the last. So I think Jun, you might be in a position to surround them. You could, if you wanted to finally bring in your crew.
I think it's time to bring in the crew. Let's do that thing.
Are you going to fight alongside them, or?
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm super happy. Let's do that.
Great. So they come in drop pods.
This is so great.
Whoa. Okay.
Right, so they're Space Marines, right? So they
the heavy armor. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So they drop in around the construction site, and they're able to, even though they are fewer in number, with the help of the Akechi forces, to surround the Kanishi forces. So why don't you order your troops? Sweet. With water and advantage?
awesome water and advantage. Oh my goodness, with my +1 water, I just might have a chance. Let's try it. I have rolled a 2, 6, and a 4, with 6 and 4 being a 10 + 1, an 11.
Nice. So you wipe out the Kanishi forces. So you should describe that.
Oh yeah, the drop pods all foom, 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 and they open up like tombstones, right? And all these space marines come clamoring out with their weapons, and yeah, they just mow their way through. They create this field that they close in tight in formation and slaughter their enemies. It's very efficient, and it's quite gory.
Awesome. Okay, so the remaining hired gang security have fled the scene, leaving the Kanishi troops who so disrespected them to die like dogs. The Akechi and Kuki forces have wiped out the Kanishi, and no evidence remains of anyone's incompetence. And the Yagyu forces have totally wrecked the construction site.
Yes.
Job
well done.
Yes. All the blame falls on the Kanishi. And and most importantly, the gold farmers have a whole bunch of shiny peacocks.
Most important,
the real winners here.
But how much will any of that matter if the corporation is now under the control of Jun Mikoto and their clan? Like that completely changes everything.
So I want to, once this train passes by, I want to hear everyone's like epilogue scene. What's the last thing we see of each of your triumphant characters as the credits roll?
I think for Jun Mikoto Ika, we see a picture of her in the Thousand Arrows MMO, as her in the MMO as her character, like on. I'm thinking like the Grandiose of Ron. Where it's like up on a grassy hill with all the flying banners, and a bunch of samurai who are there in their little like director chair deals and their big armor. And Z is getting married to the avatar of their lover. We don't know if Suki's character is like physically running that character or like automating.
Well, if that would mean like an IRL marriage as well, that's actually a really, really dynamic pairing.
Wow, that would be crazy. You just taught me, and it's super exciting. So I think,
yeah. So Suzuki's 100% in. Like as long as she can, maintain her business essentially, and the level of independence that she's. But we've been fighting together for a long enough time now to where like she feels comfortable with you. She may not be return that love in the same manner, but it's a partnership, one that has trust.
Right. Yeah. And as long as June can get it on in the game, then it's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
Classic samurai power couple.
Ooh, I love it.
It is nice. Yeah. That is the epilogue for June.
This is what a feudal Japanese marriage is supposed to look like. Crushing your enemies. Great. What about Yagyu Eiko and Akechi Haruki?
Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes. Yes, we can now hear you.
On this call twice. Okay, great. I didn't want to try to get rid of the second avatar of me because I'm only tentatively here. I think it ends Mine is rather less dramatic. I'm assuming we got a bonus.
Oh yes.
And
you absolutely succeeded.
So we are all in a new opened called, ironically enough, Shiny Peacock. and we're drinking like neon colored drinks.
Yes.
That have they have like little LEDs in them, so they're lit up. And we're sitting around. We've basically taken a whole section, my section, and there's some dancing, but we're mostly just drinking and kicking back.
Excellent.
And yeah,
nice.
Yeah, I think Eiko's is actually pretty simple, all told.
Great. And finally, Kechi Haruki.
I think in the immediate aftermath of the battle, he is congratulating the team leaders of the section for performing so well without him and to the plan, to the letter. But I think as Jun Makoto's Space Marines kind of file out back to their drop pods or wherever, one of them, who is secretly a Jesuit commando from the lunar base, they exchange a nod, right? The infiltration has begun of Jun Makoto's forces by the Catholic missionaries.
You look over, and in AR, there's one of those like medieval painting style halos around the helmet of that Marine.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Right. Well,
can I spin off that real quick?
Yeah.
Just because it's interesting because I helped Akechi be disloyal. So if piggybacking off of the marriage scene where it zooms out and then this news card comes in and it shows Tsuki on the front of a new esports team. Because now she's got the proper corporate sponsorship and she's wearing a whole bunch of necklaces, but you can see underneath is one that's just a simple cross.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's it.
I like that. Yeah, that's awesome.
A little intrigue for season 2 or whatever.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys. That's Thousand Arrows, Street Samurai versus Code Ninja.
That is dope. Awesome. I love the way it scales up from individual stuff to larger scale conflicts and kind of drops in and out of that in very interesting ways. It's cool.
Thank you.
I enjoyed being a leader, not just a random person, trying to get something for herself. It was no, actually, I'm responsible for people, and I have this resource that I can call upon.
That's definitely what I was going for in this. Thousand Arrows is definitely a story about leaders moving large numbers of crew.
Mm-hmm.
This
is going to be a stretch goal, right? This specific frame for the game?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is the most ill-advised of the stretch goals.
So that means it's going to be one of the first ones. That's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
So we definitely.
Yeah.
It's great. I really enjoy this frame, as crazy as it is. It reminds me a little bit of Lowell has this Fate hack called Neo Shinobi Vendetta, and it's got that level of high concept cyberpunk, Japanese cyberpunk taken to the nth level that I adore. But there's this is a really solid system too. I really like it.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm really glad that you all enjoyed this and that you all played. Paul, especially, thank you for jumping in at the last moment.
It was to my benefit. I had a game cancel, and I knew Rich was doing this, so thank you for letting me join.
Oh, you're welcome. You are. That was definitely the most the bravest weathering of the most failures I've ever seen in a row.
She was so beat up at the end.
Yeah, but you completed the mission. You did it.
Yeah, and also blew shit up, and that's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Even if you're not being paid.
Yeah. This all reminded me of a Penny Arcade cartoon from back when Penny Arcade was actually funny. So I just posted that over in the right panel. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you, Rich, again for setting up the recording.
Oh, no problem. I'm happy to have this on my YouTube channel, so it will give views, and it's good. Really cool
Can you
stuff.
post it?
Yes, I certainly can. It's in the con videos, but I'll post it in the chat too.
Thanks for a good game, everyone. Thanks for
thank you guys.
Good night.
Right.
Good calling.
Bye.